Yeah, that's a great point. Duke, Michigan, or the field?
Oh boy, that feels kind of like Purdue UConn a couple years ago, or the field.
Yeah.
I think the field, because I still believe that Arizona and Florida and UConn, despite their loss today, maybe Illinois. I know Illinois lost at home by 12 to Michigan the other day, but you never know. In the tournament, anything can happen. So I do believe that there are enough teams, if you're giving me the field, to take the field. But I think it's, I also think it's very easily a Duke-Michigan national championship game. Although, the interesting part about the number one seed is if you think Duke, Michigan, and Arizona are by far runaway favorites, whoever gets 2 and 3, not the overall number one, would have to play the other one in the Final Four. So I think that is why, number one overall seed I never usually think matters that much. This year I do think it matters.
Mm. It's also interesting, too, that there's the potential for Florida to be the one in the South region with Houston to be the two in that same region, with it being in Houston, which seems kind of weird. Why? The one seed doesn't really matter in that situation.
No.
You get to wear the white jerseys, that's cool.
There's lots of tournaments where you could go back into history and see that. There was a year where Kansas was the one and UCLA was the two, but they played and they played, I don't remember if it was San Francisco or San Jose, or maybe it was even Los Angeles.
We interrupt your regular scheduled programming for this special presentation from Wildcats Radio 1290. Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Bradley down, into the lane, lay it up and good. Previous turnaround jump hook is good. Del Orso springs a three out there and drains it. Milwaukee takes away the rebound and slams it home. It's a man's game.
Bear down, Cats. Our window depot coverage of University of Arizona basketball begins with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to tip off for Arizona Wildcats basketball. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Grabbed away by Burries. Burries driving the other way. Stop and pop a three. Left wing. Got it. There's your first Lexus of Tucson Charity 3. Braden Burries.
Rim unkind. A little tight are the shooters right now, but Braden Burries, he's loose.
Momcilovic for three. In and out. No good. Rebound tip. Grabbed by Buchanan underneath. Throw it back for Momcilovic and hits a three from the left corner. Cats the other way. Previs catches it inside. Double teamed right block. Jump hook over it is good.
Got to be decisive on those post catches.
Looking for some help now. Out to Bradley. Got away from Torre. Drives right of the lane. Run it up off the glass and score it. What a pretty shot from Jaden Bradley.
Houdini, he was trapped by Cyclones in the lane and snuck out of there like a magic act.
Beat down, runner, got it inside to Owaka, laid up and good. How he caught it and scored, I don't know. Cole Pete through the lane, left corner, Del Orso for three. Why not on senior night? 10 seconds to a Big 12 championship. And anybody that had sat down, and not many, if any, they are now standing. Coaches will greet at center court. Champions of the Big 12, Arizona Wildcats, 73-57 the final. An incredible game, an incredible way to close out an incredible home season.
It is basketball night in Boulder, Colorado. Your Arizona Wildcats wrapping up the regular season as they have big things on the horizon. The Big 12 tournament followed by the NCAA tournament. But first, can they finish 16-2 in this new Big 12 home of theirs, of which they'll be the champions regardless of what happens tonight? But you'd love to finish out strong with yet another win as you head out on to continue out onto the road, I should say, to Kansas City for more fun next week. Welcome to Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. I am your host, David Kelly. We've got the full squad in-house today. We've got the captain, Kelvin Efon here. We've got J.W. Madden as well. And we've got you for the next 3 hours, 520-848-1290 as we get you set for late night basketball. Big 12 after dark or whatever we used to call it back in the day when we were in the Pac-12. I think this might be the second latest start or matching the late start. I think the LA game started at 9 o'clock local time. So we've got you. We'll be here all the way till Sunday.
Yeah, but there's no 7 a.m. kickoff for football tomorrow.
That's
what
true.
happened for the UCLA game, if you remember.
That is a positive. That is a positive. We don't have to sleep overnight here, stay up all night to do another football pregame show coming up on Sunday. Clocks will turn everywhere else, but of course they will not turn here in Arizona. Let's let you know what we've got coming up for you over the course of the next 3 hours.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, we will, of course, take a look back at the game from over, actually it was, Monday. Seems like so long ago. Monday's game against the Iowa State Cyclones, the home finale here for the University of Arizona. We will take our first look at this game as well, Arizona and Colorado. It is your first look, and it is brought to you by none other than Window Depot. We'll shine a spotlight on a cat. Brian Jeffries had a chance to talk to the captain of your Arizona Wildcats, Jaden Bradley. We'll get his thoughts on some of the emotions that he's dealing with as he makes his final run through college. That is presented, as it always is, by O'Reilly Chevrolet. We'll get your view from courtside, some things, great things going up on West Anklam Road with the Pima Aztecs. We had a chance to be up there for 3 nights this week. We did our show up there earlier this week. We've been up there the last 2 nights for the men's semifinal in Region 1 and the women's final last night. You'll hear from some of the student athletes up there. Isaiah Hill, as the fellas will play tonight at 7 to try to win a region championship and remain undefeated. Lucy Fisher and Kylie Sowers-Miller. Talk to them as well. You'll hear their thoughts on winning the region championship last night over rival Mesa 80-73. DK sort of with TL. Haven't had a chance to get in front of the head coach this week, but a question I would have asked him possibly had I been in the post-game press conference the other night after the clinching of the Big 12 championship. We'll check the scoreboard. Brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers. Your scouting report will be presented by Jack Freyer Tire and Auto Care. Mark Johnson is the voice of the Colorado Buffaloes, and we had a chance to chat with him. Who'll be that Buffalo that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin? Your Pest of the Game, as brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Can we beat the book? Out at the Casino del Sol, Sol Sports, Arizona, a 14.5-point favorite on the road in this finale against Colorado. Your over-under is 156.5. Keys to the Game brought to you by Royal Automotive and your starting lineup presented by Rocking K. All of that we'll dive into, as well as your availability report for tonight, which is sponsored by no one. 887-1000 if you want to get in on that sponsorship right there. And, of course, if you want to get in on the show, 520-848-1290 is the number. Wildcats knocked off Iowa State to win the Big 12 Conference regular season championship, wrapping it up with 1 game left to play. And Tommy Lloyd, after the extended celebration out on the floor, had this to say about the 16-point triumph.
I'm actually really bad at, we have a great staff and the administration, and everybody tries to help organize all this stuff, and I'm the worst because I don't like making any decisions before a game, like on what we're going to do after the game, whether we're going to do senior speeches, whether we're going to cut down the net. I learned a lesson. My 30th birthday, my wife threw a party for me, December 21st, and we had a snowstorm in Spokane, and we're playing Portland State, bye game. So the canceled flight. They bussed to Spokane, showed up 40 minutes before the game. It's my birthday, right? Gonzaga should beat Portland State at home. We lost. And then we had to go to my birthday party after. You should have seen Coach Few at my birthday party, on my 30th birthday party after we lost. So after that, I don't plan anything, after the games. I'm just, hey, but you guys can all take care of it and just tell me what to do. So thanks for being patient with us. Obviously a great day for our program, a great accomplishment. But we want to keep it moving. I'm not going to make light of it and just, gloss over it, but we want to keep it moving. We want to play good Saturday at Colorado and kind of meet the standard. But the guys were great today. And you know what? First off, I want to give credit to Iowa State. I mean, they're a pain in the ass to play against. I mean, you can't run your offensive stuff. They pressure you out of everything, and then they're so good at utilizing their strengths on offense. I thought our guys were really good defensively today, but I mean, you really have to overextend yourself to stay ahead of those guys. So TJ, is a friend of mine, and and one of the good guys in this business, and I'm proud to compete against him, and he's done a hell of a job there.
Yeah, that was the game the other night where, like he said, they really extended Arizona out. It was just tough to get anything going early in that game offensively for the Wildcats. I kind of categorized it after the game as a slogfest early on. But guys, what did you like about the way that the Wildcats were able to adapt to that and quickly figure things out to get the offense they needed to eventually win the game?
I mean, at this point in the season, that's what you have to do to get the dub. I mean, everybody knows exactly what you're doing, especially your in-conference foes. They know your playbook. They know your personnel through and through. They've scouted you all year, so they know exactly what to do to slow you down. And so that's the reason why those games are so important at this point in the year, because those are the games that really get you ready for tournament play. It's not knowing what's going to come from the other team that's really trying to beat you because you're a top-ranked team. So, those type of challenges to me is what, you have to be looking forward to, because it's going to be the same when you play against Chattanooga, Tennessee State, the first game in the tournament. So, yeah, you got to be ready for whatever they throw at you.
Yeah, and I don't know that they were super surprised, because Iowa State is the second handsiest team in the Big 12 to Houston. That's kind of what they do. Their defense is designed around physicality, getting in driving lanes, and making sure that guards, especially Kelvin, have a hard time penetrating. They're trying to knock you off your driving line, that kind of thing. Well, guess what? This is the first time they saw Iowa State. First and only time they saw the Cyclones this year. So 4 freshmen in the rotation. The coaching staff, Kelvin, can tell those guys what they're going to expect. Like, yeah, sure, coaches. We saw Houston. We've seen a lot of handsy teams this year. Texas Tech also in that category. I just think the shooting to start that game was abysmal for both teams. And adjusting to what Iowa State was doing, Kelvin, where those shots were going to come from, I think it's impossible to simulate what some of the defenses in the Big 12 are going to bring, especially desperate teams that really need a big win over a top-ranked net team. That's Iowa State to come off a few losses. They were really game to win that, and we're bringing that extra levels of physicality. But as we've talked about all year, Arizona basketball this year is designed to beat any style and adjust, Kelvin, to be able to challenge whatever defense you throw at them and be able to play their offense through those defenses. So there was a bit of adjustment period for some of the young guys on Taman Lipsey and some of the ways that they guard some of those high ball screens and whatnot. But after a while, they got it going, and low scoring game as we expected. But I expected Iowa State to be as handsy as they were that night.
Jaden Bradley after the game said winning the Big 12 Conference Championship is the first step.
Just grateful to be here. I wouldn't be here without my teammates. They make it so much easier for me. Tobe cleaning up the rebounds, Mo cleaning up, Deli just being a threat out there. So I'm just a little piece to the puzzle, and, grateful to just be in this position and playing in front of Mikal.
You were part of that team that won the last Pac-12 title. How does that compare to this year?
Quite honest, I don't remember that one. I don't. But I'm going to remember this one. Big 12, best conference in college basketball right now. Just doing it with my brothers, just know the stuff we talked about before the season. It's clicking, but, March is a special month in basketball. We still got a lot of room to go.
First Big 12 Conference regular season championship for the Wildcats. 41st conference title in program history. 32 of those have been regular season championships to go along with 9 conference tournament crowns. Toby Awaka on how long the team can enjoy winning the Big 12 regular season championship.
I think it's just about staying in the moment, appreciating it. I don't take it for granted, obviously. We get a ring, we get to cut nets down, and we get to do it on our home floor. But I would say don't get drunk off the feeling, you know what I mean? We still want the big one, obviously. But again, this is one of the milestones we've been looking, forward to from the beginning of the season, and, we've achieved it. So, I think we should give ourselves a pat on the back, but don't get stuck in the moment. We still got work to do, so.
Now, apparently, Tommy gave the guys 2 days off after that game, so they were off Tuesday and Wednesday before coming back to practice on Thursday. So does the 24 hours extend to maybe a few more than that because there was no practice to set the focus ahead on Tuesday and Wednesday?
Yeah, or maybe catch up on some books, right, Kelvin?
Yeah,
there you go.
Of course,
yeah.
man. Of course, you wanna take that little break to rest your mind, to actually enjoy actually winning the Big 12. I mean, because Coach probably know they come back practice the next day, it is not gonna be what you want to see. So give them a couple days to let that resonate, and then let's get back to work.
And maybe, I don't know, because obviously this week is spring break, so I don't know, do they have their tests before spring break? So I don't know, they might have had tests before classes got out for the break this past Friday. I've not been in school in a long time, so I don't remember whether there are or they're not.
Yeah, and like with the weird schedule with the Big 12, where you got like your Saturday, Monday type of thing, like the class situation for the players, Kelvin, I mean, Thursday, Friday, I think you got your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday classes you can get to, right? But the way the Big 12, where you got those early week games, especially traveling for those early week games, I'm sure they have a very, a specific class, what they're required to do weekly. But I don't know, DK. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, midterms are long gone, so whatever they're doing prior to spring break. But that there's some catching up to do when you're out on the road, and maybe you're playing a little bit too much Uno and haven't read your requirements or whatever.
Well, one thing we know they did is they went and hung out at the Tucson High basketball game.
Oh yeah,
we all know they did that, and that was pretty cool to see. The mixture of the freshmen and the seniors and all the guys there at the game. They always say they hang out a lot, but for them to go and support a high school game at Tucson High, that means a lot, for them to just be hanging out like that.
Tommy Lloyd on the balance of celebration and preparing for what is next.
You don't want to make light of it, but you have to move on. You have to move on and understand that there's opportunities that lie ahead, and we always want to be kind of a pursuit-driven team. It's the pursuit of the next thing, which is exciting, and you don't want to overlook what you've already done, but you can't hang up. There's nothing to protect anymore. The Big 12 regular season is done. As far as we were able to get the championship. Now you have to move on to the next phase of things, and then it becomes tournament basketball. So we want to play as well as we can in tournament basketball, and Saturday's a good dress rehearsal for going in a kind of a hostile environment and probably having to deal with some adversity, and then right into the Big 12 tournament, which has literally become single elimination basketball. So it's going to be tough, but we're excited for it. And we want to look forward to really challenging ourselves and trying to pursue, something really difficult.
Yeah, that's what's on the horizon. Some history made there, obviously, with that championship for the Wildcats, their first, but also Tommy Lloyd setting the Division I coaching record with that win over Iowa State, his 140th win in 5 seasons, fastest to that number in NCAA Division I history, passing Brad Stevens of Butler with that win. Tommy, on that achievement.
I feel fortunate, feel lucky, all those things. And, I'm not good at counting big numbers. It's really hard for me to count past 1. So I keep it pretty simple. But, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy the program's having success. I'm happy for the community because, when I walk around town, like when I go, every once in a while I snag a Sonoran dog over at Momo's, and I walk over there from here, and it's crazy how people are right now. I can't walk. Everybody's honking and yelling at me, and so sometimes like I'll just stay in my office because you don't want to be, you don't want to go draw attention to yourself. But I'm just thankful that I get to represent this community, and I take that role seriously. I love this place, and what brings me joy is we win and everyone embracing and feeling good and smiling. That joy is really powerful.
Yeah, what Brad Stevens did, and not to knock it, obviously, came in the Horizon League when Butler was in that particular conference. What Tommy Lloyd has done, he has done in 2 power conferences in the Pac-12 and the Big 12. So extremely impressive run for him.
don't forget that Todd Licklider was the head coach at Butler and got hired at Iowa. Like, he left Butler to go to Iowa because of how highly they thought of what he had done. So Coach Stevens didn't inherit an empty cupboard, Kelvin. No, again, I think Brad Stevens is was before he retired at 38? I mean, he was one of the youngest head coaches in the NBA, retired, obviously front office guy. But yeah, that Butler program had it going for sure. And similar to Coach Lloyd. I mean, when Coach Lloyd got here, Christian Goloko, Ben Mathurin, there was some really, really talented, Dalen Terry, some really talented players on the roster that stuck around. But there's no question, you don't win 140 games in your first 5 years without great coaching, great players, and great teamwork, Kelvin, because the consistency and continuity from year to year. Look how many teams fall off. They might have a 25-win season followed by a 12-win season. Arizona hasn't had a losing record since 1984.
That's it. And I think you said it right there. It's the history. It's the tradition behind it. Not only did he have a great group of guys when he came in, he's able to recruit with that Arizona name when he come in the building. I mean, way back 30 years ago when I was a kid, when that Arizona brand came in there, you seen the white hair coach, right? You knew exactly who it was. And so, yeah, he's been able to get some great guys in here as far as recruiting. He's, basically hit, home runs on all the transfers and the type of guys that he have, brought into the program.
And now all he needs to do is maybe do what Brad Stevens did, and that's take your team to 2 national championship games and in a row and potentially win one. We'll see how that plays out as we move forward. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, getting you set for the Wildcats and the Colorado Buffaloes. Much more straight ahead. We'll take our first look at what's going on in Boulder. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 1 of the pregame show is brought to you by Advantage Air and Mechanical, Cactus Auto Company, Casino del Sol, Done Right Services, Drain Masters, First Chiropractic, Idaho Central Credit Union, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Royal GMC, Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Ready to update your kitchen, create a spa-inspired bathroom, or a backyard oasis? Put the equity in your home to work for you with a home equity line of credit from Hughes. Borrow between $10,000 and $250,000 and enjoy flexible terms and no prepayment penalties. With Hughes Federal Credit Union's one-rate guarantee, there's no switching rates based on your credit score. All our members get our same low rate. Learn more at hughesfcu.org/HELOC. Insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender. Certain restrictions apply.
So hot. Hi, can I help you? Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team. But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought. This AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Looking for quality windows without the wait? Come to the Window Depot. We carry a huge selection of Milgard windows, in stock now and ready for pickup. Need something custom? No problem. From new construction to full home replacement, we'll help you order the perfect Milgard windows built to fit your space, style, and budget. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the Window Depot makes it easy to get the windows you need fast. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you and see why we're your Milgard window experts.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
It's a full court press this March at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Join our $1 million March Mania promotion for your shot at $1 million with your bracket picks. Or win $100,000 with a perfect prop card, now through April 6th. Swipe your Club Soul card daily for a free drawing entry. Plus, every 200 slot and table points is an additional entry. Then join us April 6th for the grand finale drawing, only at Casino del Sol, an enterprise of the Pasquayaki tribe.
Wildcat fans, why wait for a great night's sleep? At Factory Direct Mattress of Tucson, you get comfort for life and deals you can't get anywhere else. Shop top-rated brands like the award-winning Puffy, Lisa, and our FDM lineup, all at Factory Direct Savings. No gimmick, no pressure, just comfort that helps you wake up feeling like a champion. Find us at 3936 West Ina Road or at fdmtucson.com. That's fdmtucson.com. Easy to find, easy to save. Stop by today, sleep better tonight, and get ready for Arizona's next victory.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Milwaukee top of the three-point line. Over to Deloso. Inside to Pete. Posted up on Gribovich. Double team. Underneath. Milwaukee. Slam it home.
Yeah, beautiful find there. Big to big passing. Pete to Milwaukee for the slam. Arizona now does start getting consecutive stops here.
It's time to take our first look at today's game. Brought to you by the Window Depot. The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com.
Arizona and Colorado tonight at the CU Event Center in Boulder, 9 p.m. tip-off time. Arizona leads the all-time series against the Buffaloes 27-16. They are 6-1 in the Tommy Lloyd era. The lone loss under Lloyd came February 26, 2022, when Colorado beat number 2 Arizona by 16 points. The Wildcats come in as the number 2 team tonight. We mentioned they are coming in as the Big 12 regular season champions. It is their first in this conference. Toby Awaka talked a little bit after the game on Monday about whether or not he feels the Wildcats have gotten better going through this gauntlet, which is the Big 12.
Yeah, for sure. I think this league forces you to test yourself day in and day out. And there's such a dynamic, amount of teams with different play styles. So, you're going to get tested all throughout. And I think it's a great, sort of preparation period, conference season for March as well. So I think, we've taken some hits, last year, this year. But I think I'm just proud of the way that we bounced back and the way that we've been able to just sort of galvanize as a group.
Yeah, that's Toby Awaka talking a little bit about the conference schedule. Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd on what the gauntlet did to improve this team's progression.
I don't think any doubt we've gotten a lot better. The experience of, being in close games, being in pressure situations, that's really important. We got through the gauntlet, but I don't know if we got through it unscathed, so we're still trying to heal up a little bit. And, it's just really important this time of year that you're kind of able to reset and kind of rebuild your energy. And, you want to be at full strength, kind of just physically, emotionally, everything kind of going into March. And so that's kind of been the focus the last couple of days, is kind of re-energized and refocusing. And like, as you mentioned, I have enough respect for my opponents. And, I've went into Boulder before with a really good team on senior day and come out with a loss. So we know how tough it's going to be. And so we want to kind of just focus on, getting better ourselves and going up there and giving a good effort on Saturday, knowing that we have the Big 12 tournament right behind it.
Guys, it's interesting because we talked about this at the beginning of last season when we were coming into this conference for the first time, and we saw all these good teams, and we thought to ourselves, man, these teams are going to beat up on each other. The conference champion is probably going to have 5 losses, and that just has not been the case. Last year, Houston went through this very difficult conference and finished 19-1. The Wildcats, if they win today, will go through this very difficult conference, finishing 16-2. So we've seen potentially the last 2 champions have 1 and 2 losses in this conference. It's fascinating.
Yeah, but Iowa State could be a 1 seed. They got 6 losses in the conference, right? Like, that's the thing, is Arizona this year and Houston last year, but everybody else, Kelvin, like those 2, 3, 4 teams all are going to come into the NCAA tournament with more losses than you might think, because it's not so much that there's 1 or 2 good teams. There are 5 or 6 great teams, and 2 or 3 other teams that are NCAA tournament worthy. So week in, week out, you're going to get challenged.
Yeah, and it is a little surprising. You would think that the champion would get would get scathed a couple more times, especially with the road games in conference. But yeah, you just had 2 stellar teams in that Houston team and this Arizona team. I don't know if it's going to be like that, going down the road with this conference. But those 2 teams were kind of special.
It actually looks like maybe the conference has gotten better. I mean, you go back to 3 seasons ago. Houston won it at 15-3. Now, last year they played 2 more games than they're playing now. They've gone back to 18. They played 20 last year. The 2 prior years to that, when Kansas won it, they won it at 13-5 and 14-4. The first expansion was the year before Arizona came in, when the other teams like Central Florida, West Virginia, and those in Cincinnati all joined. So it seems like it's at least the champion. This conference has made the champion better the last 3 years.
Well, I think this is the best freshman class Arizona basketball's ever had. They also have a senior point guard who might as well be the best point guard in the nation. They got a senior big, and they got a senior sharpshooter coming off the bench. So I think it's hard. You shouldn't understate how perfectly put together the roster is, Kelvin, for this 25-26 Arizona basketball team. They could have come away with 3 or 4 more losses in the Big 12 if not for heroics by Jaden Bradley down the stretch of a few games, if not for Braden Burries, the freshman, hitting a couple of big threes, if not for Ivan Karchenkov, the freshman, getting a couple of big steals late in games. So they certainly could have gotten much more scathed. If you're talking about scathed being losses, they certainly could have had, they could have come into the final game, with 3 or 4 or 5 losses. It's just that they all came together, Kelvin, in late game situations, made winning plays down the stretch. And that's what makes this year's team so special, is they have an answer to any question.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
Along with Kelvin Ifan and JW Madden, my name is David Kelly. It is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. We are about 3 hours away from tip-off in Boulder, Colorado, number 2 Arizona, and the Buffaloes. The Buffaloes come in at 17-13 on the season. They are 7-10 in the Big 12. Now we've just gotten some updated new information from the conference. So pretty much all of the positions are set except for 2 currently. We know that how the first day of the Big 12 tournament will shake out, because all the bottom positions are solidified. Game 1 on Tuesday will be Arizona State, the number 12 seed, versus number 13 Baylor. That'll begin at these times are central, so I'll flip them. That'll be 9:30 our time, 9:30 because
9:30 today, or as of after today?
9:30 after
change?
today.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that'll be 9:30 in the morning, daylight savings time. Cincinnati, number 9, will face number 16 Utah. That'll be the second game of the day on Tuesday. 10th seed BYU will play number 15 Kansas State. That'll be the first game of the evening session, 4 p.m. our time. And then number 11 Colorado, who the Wildcats will play tonight, will face off against 14th seed Oklahoma State. That'll be a 6:30 game coming up on Tuesday. We also know all of the 4 teams who have the high seed positions for the second round. Iowa State will be the 5 seed. So they do not make the top 4 and get the double bye. TCU will be the 6th seed. West Virginia is 7, and Central Florida is 8. So all of those 4 teams will get the single elimination. The other 2 positions that are solidified, number 1 Arizona and number 2 Houston. We still need to play out who's going to be the 3 and 4. The final 2 teams eligible for those spots will be Kansas and Texas Tech. Colorado is coming off a win over Utah, their quote-unquote rival. I don't know if they look at it that way, but let's hear from Tad Boyle on the 3rd win that his team got in 4 games.
We had great, I thought, efficiency tonight offensively. Bangot has 22 points on 9 shots. Isaiah's got 22 on 10. Barrington's got 19 points on 11 shots. That means you're playing efficiently. We don't have really volume shooters. We have efficient guys that are scoring the ball, and Bangot's been really good the last couple games doing that.
That is their big man, Bangok Dak, and he is 6'11". He is out of the Lincoln, Nebraska area, a junior.
Speaking of which, that's Colorado's rival, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you want to like rivals, it's Colorado, Nebraska, and that goes back to the 1800s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He had, that was a career high 22 points he had in that game against Utah, 10 rebounds, and he made 9 of 10 shots from the line in that game.
I feel like it's just a free throw. It's practice. We practice free throws a lot in our free time, so it's just the same routine, stepping up and just knocking it down.
So we like to think we've got bigs that can hit free throw. Bangok Dak is one for the Colorado Buffaloes who can knock those down. This was a win. I mentioned they've won 3 of 4. The one loss, though, was a 40-point blasting down at Houston. And Bangok talked about the team bouncing back from that horrid game.
Games like those, we don't want that to be our type of identity, that we're the team that, is going to get blown out by, that many points. So anytime we have a game like that, we know it's important to have a bounce-back performance, and I feel like we've been doing that.
The other wins in that set of 3 or 4 wins over Oklahoma State and Kansas State, obviously teams at the bottom, but you still need to try to go out and win those games. They are 3-2 since Tad Boyle had his meltdown after the loss against Texas. I don't know if it was a meltdown. It wasn't a Jerome Tang-style meltdown, but he had a few things to say about how his team didn't deserve to ride the charter back to Boulder. They are 3-2.
Not going to the steakhouse tonight, Kelly.
Exactly. What was it? Beans?
Yeah.
Yeah, you deserve beans.
Coach Olsen dropped us off at a Wendy's. Something like that. We had never ate nothing like that before. I was like, oh, he's serious.
Tad Boyle on the bounce back from a 40-point loss against Houston.
The one thing I've learned in 30-plus years of coaching, Pat, is young people are pretty darn resilient. And players usually have shorter memories than coaches do. So these guys, to their credit, they kind of put that behind them, and we move forward. We talked about that. Mark Johnson asked me before the game, what do you do after that 40-point blowout? And I'm not a burn the tape kind of coach. I'm a let's watch the film. We watched like 10 clips, from that game that were critical in the first part of the game to let it get out of hand. But these guys are resilient, and they showed fight and toughness down the stretch, and that's what you have to do, especially, on the road in this league.
Arizona and Colorado, the lone meeting between these two Pac-12 rivals now in the Big 12. Tip-off is coming up at 9 o'clock.
That's our first look at the game. Brought to you by the Window Depot. The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindow.depot.com. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
And don't forget, Window Depot also sponsors Arizona's top rebounding performance every night. It's the Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. Might be the Wildcat with the most rebounds. Could be the U of A star with the most impactful boards. Possibly could be someone from the other team.
Could be Bangok Dak.
Could be Bangok Dak. He might be a pest coming up. We'll tell you the Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. That'll be on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show. Much more straight ahead. Some great basketball happening here in Tucson. Not only at University and Park, but up on West Anklam Road. We'll get you set on what's happening with the Pima Aztecs as well. Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day continues after this timeout. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
So, what is it that scares you the most?
The blue trucks from Essential Pest Control, Doctor. They leave bugs belly up.
I use one of those national companies.
Thanks, Doc. Those guys don't scare me.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Buy local and stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. That's 866-3029. Or visit essentialpest.com.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
All right, she's inside. Are you good?
Yeah, it's just, she's my baby girl, you know?
I do, and ceramic coating was a good choice.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yep, I know.
Recon Auto Detailing. Enhance or restore your baby to her former glory with paint recondition, ceramic coating, paint protection, tinting, and more for full protection of your vehicle inside and out. New cars, old cars, we love them all. Recon Auto Detailing, 3829 North Oracle Road, Tucson. ReconDetail.com.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Spring is on its way, and we all know that extreme heat comes next. Right now is the time to get your car or truck road trip ready. And with 14 convenient locations, 6 decades of service, and dozens of top shop awards, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the place. This month, get back big rebates on all your favorite major brand tires. Save more on the most affordable, long-lasting tires. Check out jackfurriers.com for details and money-saving coupons. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, here to get you there.
Hi, I'm Jordan Benjamin with Done Right Services. When your home or business needs HVAC, plumbing services, or electrical work, choose a genuine local Tucson company, Done Right Services. With decades of trusted experience and upfront pricing, Done Right Services treats every customer like a valued neighbor. From upgrades to urgent repairs, our licensed professionals deliver quality, care, and craftsmanship you can count on, getting it done right. Call Done Right Services today at 520-369-3966 because you deserve it done right.
Now is the perfect time to start your next home renovation project. At the Window Depot, you get factory direct prices, no installers, no middleman, and serious savings. Windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, all in stock and ready to take home today. Perfect for DIYers and contractors who want to save thousands and get materials fast. Your project, your timeline, the best prices. Shop online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Now that's what I call savings. Truck buyers, this one's for you. Get up to $7,500 off a new 2026 Chevy Silverado and up to $4,500 off a 2025 Chevy Colorado. 2 tough trucks, one place to save. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Call us at 747-8000, see us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall, or on the web at O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Jefferson driving on Pete. Throws it up wildly, no good. Taken away by Arizona. 3-on-1 break. Del Orso off to Burry's laid up and good.
Outstanding defense, forcing the ball out of the hands of the playmakers, getting a turnover and converting it.
Braden Burries, how much will he play in this game. We've been debating it all week. Will Tommy Lloyd play all of his starters? Will he play them lots of minutes? Will he rest any guys? That is the question. We did a poll. We did a poll on that this week, Kelvin, and the people voted to partially rest the starters, not play them maybe a ton of minutes, but to play them minutes tonight in this game.
Yeah. In this type of game where you're getting ready to play on Saturday, your next game is Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
The team that you're going to play could possibly already play 2 games, right? So they're going to be sharp. So your guys have one game where the team that you're possibly going to play is going to have to play 2 games. Man, you better play 30 minutes. You better play at least 30, 35 minutes.
Kelvin, my take was, you got to stay on your routine because what you got you here was doing that thing you've been doing. And yes, the idea of making sure that your starters and your 8 rotation guys are super healthy for this quote unquote meaningless game since you've already wrapped up the Big 12 regular season conference. But it's more the routine and those times. What did you just say? Monday to Saturday to Thursday. So that's 3 games in 13 days. So, yeah, I think definitely if you get out to a big lead, there's no need to play JB 39 minutes if you got a big lead or whatever. But the other thing I said, Kelvin, was try to tell this 8-man rotation that this game's not important to win.
Man, you hear me? And try to tell Colorado that. Colorado's getting ready to play the number 2 team in the nation. Their fans probably going to come out.
Their fans do not like the Arizona Wildcats, by the way.
Yeah, and it's senior night, so everybody's going to try to step up and have that key game as usual. You can't have a letdown right here. So, yeah, I think that you have to play your guys, one, because, again, the rest, you don't want your team coming into Thursday next week behind 2 or 3 games. Yes, you'll be fresh, but to me, when you watch some of the teams that are playing, they go on a run. They go on a nice little run because the team, whoever you're going to play, had won 2 games by that point, right?
Yeah.
They had to win 2 games, so they're feeling good about themselves. And they can end up giving you some problems and, and knocking you off.
And they know where the dead spots are on the court, and they know how the rims are working. They know all those things.
and also, they've adjusted to the tournament refereeing. Right? And also they understand that, man, we got 2 games. If we win this game versus U of A, this is probably the game that can get us into the tournament. So, now your guys got to be sharp. You don't want to let them relax now.
Real quick, the other thing I said, Kelvin, was that you got Dwayne Aristotle and Koa P coming back from, 3 or 4 games off. So, as far as getting those guys back in game shape, I mean, if JB doesn't want to play more than 20 minutes, whatever, Braden Burries. But as far as Koa P and Dwayne Aristotle go, those guys have only played 1 game, right? Really, Koa played a little bit, but getting those guys back in game shape going into March is so important because of that long layoff they were off for, 12, 14 days.
Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd on just how much he might manage his lineup over the course of the next week or so.
Yeah, you honestly, you watch it as it plays out. I mean, there's always consideration. To doing some of that. But, we'll have to see, how it feels and how the bodies feel and how the guys look and, what is playing out in front of us in real time, and we're not going to make any assumptions. We're going to be allowed to play 3 games in 3 days because, I don't know what the standings exactly look like, but it looks like, potential first-round opponents could be like Cincinnati, BYU. I mean, you're going to play a really good team in that first round of that tournament. So the competition's going to hit hard from day one.
That question was from the audience, Kelvin, and one of the audience members wanted to know Coach's thoughts on you're going to play 3 games in 3 days next week. Is there consideration to resting starters versus Colorado because you're going to play 3 games in 3 days? And that's why Coach said there's no guarantee we're going to play 3 games in 3 days.
Right, facts. And that's what I was just saying. That again, your first game is going to be against a team that's on a streak because they won a couple games to get to you, so they had to earn the right to get to play against you. So those guys are going to be feeling good about themselves and really going to go and do whatever they have to do to get that victory. So, yeah, I think with just so much time in between that Monday game and this Saturday game and then Thursday, Benny, your first game is going to be Thursday. I just don't think that you should be worried about that. It was like I was talking to a kid, and he was telling me that he don't feel like he should have to try out. And I was like, this basketball, you always got to want to hoop. You got to always want to hoop. It's up to the coaches to pull the reins back. So and we're not talking about the players trying to sit out or anything like that. We're talking about the coach, how he want to manage those guys' time or whatnot. But at this time of the year, man, one game with 2 or 3 days off could have you lackadaisical.
So they had 4 days off between this game and the Iowa State game. They'll have 4 more days off in between today and playing in the first round on Thursday. Tommy, on having all those days off.
Well, it's good, but now you got to take advantage of it. You got to take advantage of it. You can't let your guard down. You got to rest. You got to recover. You got to strengthen. You gotta get back in the gym, and you got to figure out, okay, what do we got to do to continue to improve? The best teams I've ever been a part of continue to get better week by week in March. They don't rest on what they've done, and we always talk about it as a program. We are always going to be more excited about what lies ahead than protect what we've already accomplished. So we're excited to play at Colorado. I mean, listen, Colorado, I've went up there with a good team before and got smacked. I know how tough it is to play there. So trust me, it's got my full attention. And then, obviously after that, we'll get a few days off, and then we'll see how that Big 12 tournament shakes out. So, that's kind of next on the horizon, so that'll be our focus.
Now, DK, real quick, I know it's a different sport, but I always think about the college football playoffs since they expanded to 12.
Right.
The teams with byes are 1-7, Kelvin. 1-7.
I'm telling you.
Indiana's the only team that's won that had a bye since they expanded it to 12 teams in the college football playoff. Those teams that don't play for 3 weeks come in a little rusty. They maybe not be ready.
Yeah, no, I mean, and you think in a game like football, that rest would really help you, huh? No, the team that's sharp and ready to go and hardened from, game action, to me is more of a problem.
Tommy also had some things to say after the game the other night on the notion that the Arizona Wildcats, because they play on the West Coast, are soft.
This team's built that way, but I mean, I think the narrative that we were soft is lazy. I mean, look at our stats. Look at our analytics. We've always been a great rebounding team. We've always pounded the paint. So, if you want to just be lazy and not pay attention and say we're soft because we're on the West Coast, be lazy. And I'd love to play against you because we know we got dudes and we love this game and I'm okay with this style of game. I have no problem with how it played out. And, if you want to compete at the highest level of college basketball, you better be able to go toe-to-toe with somebody. And so that's how we're built, and I think we've always been built that way.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think has been impressive about the way they've come out of this gauntlet is that they've been able to win games some different ways than even we saw early in the season, especially with some of the guys that they had to have out. They had to rely a little bit more on some shooting to win a couple of those games, and that's what the good teams, I've said before, that's what the good teams, I think, do. They know how to win any style of game that they find themselves in, and Arizona has certainly done that. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Let's give you a view from courtside right now.
It's time now for us to take you down to the front row of the arena. A view from courtside is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser serving Southern Arizona over 30 years.
All right, your view from courtside is up on West Anklam Road, where the Pima Aztecs are slaying this game called basketball. The men are 31-0 as they enter tonight's Division II Region 1 final at home against Scottsdale. This will be the fourth meeting of the season between Pima and Scottsdale. They have beaten the Artichokes by 4 points, 14 points, and 43 points. The 43-point win came the last time that Scottsdale was in town. The other night, I had a chance to watch them as they knocked off Glendale by 38 in the Region 1 semifinal game up on West Anklam Road. They were just, guys, they were just raining threes in the first half of that game. We talked to Mason Hunt earlier this week. I mean, he had 6, I think, in the first half of the game. It was crazy the way that they were shooting the basketball in that contest. They finished, what did they finish in this game? They finished making 17 out of 39 from three. Those are NBA numbers. 17 out of 39 from three in that
For
game.
Miami of Ohio numbers.
They getting them up.
44%. They shot 44, so efficient as well. Isaiah Hill played some high school ball at Pueblo High School, also at the new Premier Prep here in Southern Arizona as well. Had a chance to catch up with him after the ball game.
Going. I was just trusting our guys. Hunt got hot early. Just finding him, he set the tone for us. So just playing through him and having his back. I feel like once we realize he's hot, go behind him, we'll be all right.
What does it mean for you to be on this team, first year in this program, 31-0?
It means a lot. I'm glad they have trusted me to be the point guard for the team. We got a lot of great sophomores, a lot of great freshmen. So just being a part of this team is a lot. I'm really thankful for it, for sure.
What's been fun about this experience for you so far?
Just the unselfishness and just the team chemistry we got. Everybody's on the same page, even outside of basketball. We go hang out, we go chill, play the game, or do something like that. So just the bond we have with this team is what I like the most about this team, for sure.
Wasn't the best shooting night for you, but you did all the other things. Still came up just 3 points shy of a triple-double. Have you ever had a triple-double?
Yeah, actually, one of the early games this season I did, but it was good. I'm glad we got the win. That's all that matters to me. So.
Double-digit rebounds. Is that something you feel like you can do for this team, crash the boards and be effective in that area?
Oh, yeah, I feel like I can. I feel like anybody on this team can. It's all about the 98% rule we have here. So, scoring is 2% of the game. 98% rule, you do something else. So I feel like everybody buys into that, and that's why we're so good as a team.
What's the vibe? I know you guys have your thing that you guys do post-game in the locker room after every game. What's that vibe like, to carry it over into Saturday night?
Oh, we were excited for sure, but we know there's still one more game. We can't get too high. We can't get too low. So we just focus on for the next game for sure.
How about some of these other guards? You guys have got, Jaron, who does this tremendous job out there. What do you like about teaming up with him?
Just knowing that he got my back, I got his back. We actually played at high school together, so the chemistry is there already, and I'm glad I could play with him another year. So it's very fun playing with him. So.
You went through that prep program. What was that like for you?
It was great. Honestly, I think it got me very prepared for this. We kind of play the same way, not as a high level, obviously, because it's college, but we play kind of the same way, up and down, and just being able to read and react. So I feel like it helped me a lot to prepare for this year, for sure. So.
Who do you want to see on Saturday?
Anybody. We ready. We ready. Anybody.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, that was Isaiah Hill after the ball game on Thursday night. 7 points, but he had 10 rebounds, guys, and dished out 12 assists. So on a night when he didn't shoot the ball well, he really stepped up in some other areas to have a great game.
Well, you heard him. He said another one of his teammates had it going, and that's what you love to hear from a point guard. I saw your video on Twitter, and I saw it, and that's the first thing I heard him say, hey, we had a teammate that had it going, so we was looking for him. It wasn't all about him. He already won the Player of the Year for the conference, Freshman of the Year for the conference, 2 of the best awards. He's going to be an All-American for sure since he won those 2 awards. So, just understanding when one of your teammates got it going and understanding that your team have it going so you don't have to hit a certain average as far as points was concerned is amazing. And anytime your guard is rebounding at a 10 rebound clip, and now he gets on a fast break. That's why he had 12 assists, because he rebounds so much, it opens up easy up the court passing opportunities for guys to score. So yeah, he's great for Peabody's system. I remember talking to Coach Marshawn Flanagan this summer, and I said, what do you think of those those 2 freshmen? He said, oh, they both gonna play. They're going to play, and I guess he knew what he was talking about.
My real question I want to know is that the most sirs per minute that you've gotten in an interview? Very respectful young man. I think I counted 6, I think, in there.
He was. I didn't even notice that when I was interviewing him, that he was stirring me up over there. So that'll be tonight, 7 o'clock up on West Anklam Road. The men will play against Scottsdale. Let's hear real quickly from Lucy Fisher. The women won last night. Much tighter game against their rivals from the Mesa Thunderbirds. I mean, this is 14th time in 18 years that these two teams have played for the region championship. 80 to 73.
Give somebody else a turn. Come on.
Yeah, 80 to 73. They were down. Pima was, and they were able to turn the game late to get the win. Let's hear a little bit. In fact, let's hear from Lucy Fisher, who led the Aztecs with 20 points in the game.
How were you guys able to turn this game in the final 4 minutes?
I just think it was our energy. We really picked it up and just like hyping each other up and cheering each other on as a team. I think that's what won it for us overall.
When you guys approach defense, so what are the most important aspects of how you guys like to defend teams?
I think just always being in help, having each other's back. I feel like we are in a really good job of help, and that's what, like, having each other's back so that, but yeah, overall, I think we did a good job.
How about Kylie's block there at the end?
Oh man, that was so great. Kylie always getting those blocks. She just brings us that energy too.
You look at what Malicia has been able to do this season. What's been kind of special about the way she's operated at the point?
She's just such a selfless player overall. Honestly, like, she's gonna look first to pass, and her passes are just amazing. Like, you just gotta be ready all the time because she's gonna hit you.
And for you, just kind of when she's got the ball up front, how are you looking to get yourself open, so she can find you maybe for an open jumper?
Honestly, just getting down the court as fast as I can because I know she's gonna hit me if I'm open.
National tournament, what does that mean for you and this team?
Oh, we're so excited. This is the goal over the whole season, so this is what we've been working for, and we're gonna go there and we're gonna win.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Lucy Fisher after the ball game, and cool moment, guys. After they cut down the net, Todd Holdhouse, head coach, cut down the net, went over and placed it around the neck of retiring assistant coach Jim Rossborough. So great night up on West.
And he made a snide comment about Kelvin shooting as he did it.
Yeah, I told you I wasn't surprised with that. No, man. But Coach Todd, man, does a great job up there, man. I'm not surprised that they beat Mesa again. And yeah, good luck in the tournament, man. They keep going down there, getting close, and I know usually how it is. You keep going down there, and before you know it, you'll get you one. So yeah, great job, Coach. One of my girls played. I think they ended up third or something last year or something. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Madnea Vital, she played for them last year. So yeah, I know she's excited for their success as well.
And Malicia Nelson, MVP of the region tournament, just 1 rebound shy of a triple-double last night, 16 points, 13 assists, 9 off the glass. That is your view from courtside.
We hope you enjoyed your view from courtside. It was brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser has been serving Southern Arizona for over 30 years. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 1 of the pregame show is brought to you by Advantage Air and Mechanical, Cactus Auto Company, Casino del Sol, Done Right Services, Drain Masters, First Chiropractic, Idaho Central Credit Union, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Royal GMC, Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Looking for quality windows without the wait? Come to the Window Depot. We carry a huge selection of Milgard windows, in stock now and ready for pickup. Need something custom? No problem. From new construction to full home replacement, we'll help you order the perfect Milgard windows built to fit your space, style, and budget. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the Window Depot makes it easy to get the windows you need fast. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you and see why we're your Milgard window experts.
Back your hometown favorite. Get your very own exclusive University of Arizona debit card from Hughes Federal Credit Union. Pair your new card with a free checking account that earns dividends. With no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and convenient 24/7 online and mobile banking. Visit one of our 7 convenient branch locations to get your card instantly, or open an account online at hughesfcu.org/wildcats. Show your Wildcat spirit all year long with Hughes Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Coach, Tommy Lloyd here with the Right Way team.
Great news. Free furnace season has been extended through the end of March. Have you been thinking about replacing your heating and cooling system this year? To spark business, we're giving away an 80% gas furnace or a heat pump air handler with the purchase of a new air conditioning system.
And we're offering up to 60 months no interest financing, manufacturer and energy efficiency rebates, and 10-year parts and labor warranty.
Call or text 520-200-2422 to book your free estimate today or visit rightwayac.com.
If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Morning begins in the Rincon foothills. Rocking K, a master planned community and place to call home.
offering distinct neighborhoods designed to fit your lifestyle. Explore the outdoors, walk the trails, visit Saguaro National Park. Enjoy community parks and make new friends at Rocking K resident events. Walk to Vail School District's newest campus in Rocking K, Saguaro Creek. 17 model homes, 6 quality builders, move-in ready homes available from the 300s. Rocking K, designed by nature, a community by design.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th anniversary season featuring 7 Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
Our daughter was addicted to pain meds, and for over 2 decades, she was lost to us. We tried to help, but the more we tried, the worse it got. She went to 18 different rehabs. We finally realized that to really love her, we needed to let her go, even when that meant her going to jail. When she got out, she went to Gospel Rescue Mission, and as the days turned into months, we knew we had our daughter back.
If you need help, or if you know someone who needs help, go to grmtucson.com.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management. As a boutique fiduciary investment firm, our clients have trusted us to guide them down their financial paths for decades. Whether you are an individual or family, business, foundation, or nonprofit, we are committed to your long-term goals and financial futures. We are proud supporters of the Tucson community and all that makes our city so special. Visit online at meridianwealthllc.com to learn more about Meridian today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Bradley down into the lane, lay it up and good. Previous turnaround jump hook is good. Del Orso springs a 3 out there and drains it. Milwaukee takes away the rebound and slams it home.
It's a man's game.
Bear down, Cats. Our Window Depot coverage of University of Arizona basketball continues with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to tip off for Arizona Wildcats basketball. This is Wildcats Radio, 1290.
We're going to let it get down to about 10 here. Put the play in motion. Bradley steps around a screen. Spin move right. Now needs to get to work. Jumper, turn around, goes to the bucket, lay it up and good. Oh, what a beautiful move by Jaden Bradley. And the Cats up by 3. 16 seconds left.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
Jaden Bradley with the winner at UConn as the Wildcats would open up the season with 23 consecutive wins on their way to an undefeated non-conference and a Big 12 conference championship. The regular season concludes game number 31 tonight on the road in Colorado. We are in hour number 2 of our pregame show. Here's what we've got coming up for you. We'll shine a spotlight on a Cat. It'll be that Jaden Bradley young man, the point guard, as brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Brian Jeffries had a chance to catch up with Jaden, and DK with TL, sort of. Hughes Federal Credit Union sponsors my questions to the head coach. I did not talk to the head coach this week, but a question I might have asked him had I been in a press conference to do so. College basketball scoreboard. We're coming down to the final seconds in Durham. Duke all over number 17 North Carolina rivals, 76-61. So the Blue Devils are going to finish out their ACC run at 17-1. They'll be the number 1 seed in that tournament. Your scouting report will be brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Mark Johnson is the voice of the Colorado Buffaloes. We'll get his thoughts on all things happening up in Boulder. Who will be that Buffalo that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin? Your pest of the game as presented by Essential Pest Control. Can we beat the book? Final regular season chance. Arizona 14.5-point favorite in this game. You're over under 156.5. Royal Automotive presents your keys to the game, what we think the Wildcats will need to do to win tonight in Boulder, and then your starting lineup as brought to you by Rocking K. All of that still to come. We want to hear from you as well. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. You can call the program. You can text the program. You can interact on the program. On any of our social media platforms, we are on Twitter at Wildcats1290. We are on the Facebook, Wildcats Radio 1290, as well as YouTube, Wildcats Radio 1290. Don't forget, download the app. In fact, if you go to our Twitter page right now, there are links to download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app so you can watch and or listen to any of our content, I should say, and interact with the show there as well. All right, let's shine a spotlight on a cat.
Our pregame show Spotlight on a Cat is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Jaden Bradley has already been named a second-team All-American by John Rothstein with CBS Sports. He ranks 47th on Arizona's career scoring list. He has just over 1,100 points in a Wildcat uniform. Celebrated this past Monday on senior night. College career coming down to an end. The voice, Brian Jeffries, talked to him a little bit about that.
Jaden Bradley, what's kind of going through your mind at this juncture?
I mean, it's a crazy moment right now. Never thought, I'd be here. It comes fast. So, very grateful for the opportunity, grateful for Mikhail and, coaches, my teammates, the fans. But, it's also March, and, that's money time, and excited for our guys that haven't experienced March, and, excited.
All right. So when you arrived here on campus, you knew the history of this program. You knew the success behind it, and you've been part of that success now the last 3 years. Has anything surprised you at all?
I mean, just how great, you don't really TV and in person is really different. So just being in front of the fans, playing these high-level games on the road, and just being in here is different from seeing it on TV, and I'm just grateful to be here.
All right. Well, you and your fellow seniors have welcomed in a group of young guys on this particular team, and that seems to be one of the reasons this team has gelled so well. Take us through kind of bringing those guys into the fold and what you've been able to impart on them this season.
Yeah, I mean, we got a special group of freshmen. They're all experienced. Braden, Koa, Dwayne, Yvonne, probably missing some, but Ceedee. So we got to, they're pretty much like vets in here, but when they first came, just telling them what to expect, and they're adding their own twist and flavor on it, and they're flourishing right now. So excited for those guys.
All right. Well, I'd say thanks for a great career, but it's not over.
Yes,
so
sir.
Let's keep it going.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
That's today's Spotlight on a Cat, brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Jaden Bradley, 17 points in that win over Iowa State on Monday. He was 9 of 10 from the line in the contest. And Tommy Lloyd went into detail on his radio show just on the history with Jaden Bradley and the national attention that he was not getting prior to the season starting that he is getting right now.
Man, we recruited Jaden obviously out of high school, and he was a good player. He had a solid freshman year at Alabama, and then he came here, and we really challenged him to get better just at some of his techniques and packages, and he's done that. And listen, the staff can get some credit, but he deserves most of the credit because he's the guy who's put in the work and been receptive to and open-minded to some of these things. And what's really cool is he's kind of made him his own. I mean, he's not a robot. He's not like a programmed player by us. I mean, he combines some of our teaching with some of his charisma and talent, and it's turned out to be a great combination.
At the end of the year, you guys talked about him not being on point guard lists, awards watch lists, and it seemed like he had a chip on his shoulder early on. Just how he handled it.
I don't think he had a chip on his shoulder. Guys, no one wants to be on preseason list. Who cares? That's for you guys. We actually have to go out and play and coach. So we want to be on postseason lists. That's what matters. And so And you know, I don't know, maybe some guys that start on the list have a little head start, but I'll tell you what, consistent performance speaks way louder than a preseason list. And no one's been a more consistent performer in the country than Jaden Bradley.
Jaden Bradley, so far on this season, is one of two players in the conference, Big 12 conference, averaging 14 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, a steal with an assist-to-turnover ratio of 2 or better. We will find out, I would imagine, Monday or Tuesday. Do you think, as we sit here on Saturday, that Jaden Bradley is the Big 12 Player of the Year?
Best player, best team, Kelvin. I mean, that was the Pac-12 motto.
Yeah, and
does he win the award, do you think?
Right now, with AJ's team losing the way they are, Peterson is not in favor.
He hasn't played 65 games.
Yeah, so I think right now he may be the front runner because, you know, you think about it, in Berries is the other guy that I'm thinking of. Berries is the other guy, and I'm thinking sometimes coaches reward the resiliency of seniors like Bradley,
Right.
especially with the year that he's having.
Yeah, I think the most impactful player on this year's Arizona team is Jaden Bradley. I don't think the freshmen come along as smoothly and as quickly as they do without, as Kelvin's mentioned, for the last 4 months, seniors who are willing and able to defer and allow those freshmen to flourish early in the season to find their footing coming out of high school. And Jaden Bradley, look at every single big game that Arizona has been in a tight one-possession game down the stretch of games. He makes all the winning plays down the stretch of games. So you wonder why Arizona has a gaudy 16-2 record of the Big 12. It's because of Jaden Bradley. So, I mean, if you want to pick a guy who's the most impactful, to me, this is a team. This is the epitome of a team. All 8 guys in the rotation have contributed to every win, and Jaden Bradley has been at the head of that snake.
And I want to say this, man. Jaden Bradley is a guy that I would use for as long as I'm training of the way to play basketball. Right, because you don't always have to be the superstar scorer and the best three-point shooter and all the things that gives the highlight. But if you understand how to play winning basketball, you can go far and you can be rewarded. So that's why it's cool to see him getting rewarded for his efforts and being unselfish. I tell guys all the time, pass the ball. Pass the ball, man. I mean, there's nothing wrong. It's part of the game. Pass the ball. Let some of your other teammates miss. Is what I say. Let some of them miss some shots, right? And because what happens is that builds trust, right? And so late in those games, the freshmen throwing back the ball, they don't try to be superheroes because guess what? The senior let them go all game, and either it's going or it's not going. Now you're going to trust him to deal the cards now because he let everybody do their thing. Core Pete brings the ball up the court. I mean, Ivan Karchinkov brings the ball up the court. It's not like one of those point guards, give me the ball. I want to bring it up every time. I want to show everybody in the nation I'm the point guard. Well, he don't have to show people he's the point guard. The success of this team shows, and the success of his freshmen shows exactly who he is.
All right, I'm going to put that question out to you. I'm going to make it a question of the day since I think we'll probably find out that on Monday, I think, is when they're going to release the men's basketball awards. Could be Tuesday, but Monday or Tuesday ahead of the start of the tournament. We should know who that is. It'll be a poll coming up right on our Twitter account, Wildcats1290. Does Jaden Bradley win Big 12 Player of the Year? Head on over there and vote right now.
Any indication, the women's side, they gave it out on the 3rd of March. So they've already done the women's side of things.
So, yeah, so that was what the 3rd was, Tuesday? Or no, that was Wednesday.
Tuesday, correct, yeah.
Yeah, Thursday. I'm sorry. I'm all mixed up. The 2nd would have been Tuesday or Monday, so Tuesday.
Yeah, so just
Tuesday.
after the tournament, I think is the way they did it for that. Right. But I don't see anything right now as far as when that award.
So
Real quick though, I wanted to mention JB talking about chip on his shoulders and all that kind of stuff. I will quote Coach Tommy Lloyd at the Big 12 Media Days. Are you familiar?
No.
So guess what? They go out there preseason and Tommy's there with his 3 players, and you know where all the questions went, Kelvin? How's AJ going to look this year? How's Peterson going to look this year? The Arizona Wildcats were not chief among it. That was only a 6-minute podium question and answer session. There were very few questions. And at the end of it all, DK, Tommy Lloyd said, you guys have more questions? Okay. right? Like, that's a you. Like, he just says that's always a you thing, whether or not it's like these media-created storylines of chip on shoulders or stuff. And they're about proving it on the court, Kelvin. They're about coming out there, taking away your lunch, taking all the rebounds away, defense, D'ing you up and making sure that you have a really bad night during those 40 minutes. Whether or not preseason expectations are on whatever, I mean, postseason is what it's all about and what you've done throughout the season. So, yeah, I mean, I get that JB has never been a boisterous, look at me peacocking all over the place. He's very quiet, confidence kind of thing. But Kelvin, that he's always out there to prove that his team is better than your team. And those are the kind of guys I always felt, the dudes who get empty stats. I'm not talking trash about AJ. AJ's a great player, and their team's 7-10 in their last 10 games, or 7-3 in their last 3-7, excuse me, in their last 10 games, something like that. So winning matters, and what JB's done on the court this year, that quiet confidence. But they're not talking about it in public about not being on any kind of preseason list. It's really about what you do on the court, and every team's different. Proven this year's team, 25-26, has got some noise to make, and still do.
Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. It is the Wildcats and the Colorado Buffaloes closing out the regular season tonight with a 9 p.m. tip in Boulder. Much more coming up for you straight ahead. My questions are sort of to the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, plus what's happening on the scoreboard today. A number of the Big 12 teams are already played, and we mentioned, if you were with us earlier, all but 2 of the tournament positions are set in the Big 12.
Speaking of which, shout out to LIU.
LIU.
There's the first team that punched their ticket.
Island?
Yeah, first team that punched their ticket to the dance.
Here we go. Shout out to LIU. Shout out to Palo Verde High School for winning a state championship this week as well.
Yeah, it was close, man. They lost one last year, I think, in the championship game. Went back and took care of business, man. That little point guard Pittman, man, the way he controls the game, man. It's great to see a state championship back down here. We haven't had one on the men's side in a while.
Good to see as well. Celebrate those young men for sure. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day continues after this timeout. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of the pregame show is brought to you by Bear Down Roofing, Dorado Rock, Essential Pest Control, Goodfellas AC, Hughes Federal Credit Union, Johnson Manley Company, JT Auto, Lexus of Tucson, Mr. Rooter, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking K, a master planned community designed by nature, Factory Direct Mattress, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
In Tucson, Cool Willie's knows desert dust, dirt, and debris are the #1 AC killers when the heat hits. That's why our signature tune-up is the best way to get your system summer ready. Right now, we're offering a preseason AC reset, a deep internal clean where our technicians remove built-up dust, restore airflow, and prep your home before temperatures spike. First-time customers get their preseason AC reset for just $39, normally $129. Appointments fill fast before the first heat wave. Go to coolwillies.com and click Book Now.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Up your game in a new Buick or GMC from Royal Buick GMC. At Royal, we always deliver a quality vehicle at a great price. Score a great deal with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff and our transparent online pricing. Plus, Royal offers a 72-hour buyback guarantee. Score big at Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. See dealer for details. Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or RoyalTucson.com.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Awaka setting a screen. Del Urso driving left, throw it to Pete. Got fouled, nothing called. Out to Bradley, right wing shot over the rim, no good. Follow, jam, Aristode, 2 more for Dwayne.
Dwayne Aristode came back, and he was balling in the win over the Iowa State Cyclones this past Monday. Great to see Dwayne back out there after dealing with his illness that he had that kept him away from the team and off the basketball floor, but Dwayne is showing he's still got his high-flying ability, Aristode, as we bestowed upon him early in the year.
Well, didn't he say his favorite player was MJ?
MJ, that's right. Air Jordan was his favorite player, so Aristode doing his thing to emulate his favorite player, for sure.
He looked smooth, Kelvin. He looked like he was moving around there really good. I mean, the threes are great. That dunk was great. But I just look for the way that people are moving around. After they've been away for 3-4 games, I'm just looking for their lateral movement and their burst more than anything.
Yeah, no, those legs were there. His legs were under him, so he definitely was well rested. And, you know, there's great competition at practice. The competition that they have at practice, they'll get you ready for a D1 game. And he looked totally ready and comfortable when he did come back.
Played 16 minutes in the game the other night, 3 of 6, hit a couple of threes as well to finish with 8 points in the contest. The vets, Jaden Bradley, Anthony Del Urso on Dwayne Aristode showing out.
Yeah, he's great. Obviously, you know, what he went through and to be able to step up and come in, you know, against one of the best teams, you know, it's pretty special. He had to go to big plays and he got the crowd going for sure, and that was, you know, exciting to see for him.
Yeah, that just shows, you know, his character. You know, always, you know, ready when your name's called. You know, I feel like that dunk was probably one of the biggest plays in the game. You know, just crash the offensive glass and, you know, get the crowd going. So it definitely was a game changer.
Most minutes he had played in a game in almost a month. February 7th, you have to go back to that game against Oklahoma State where he appeared in 21 minutes and then missed pretty much 3 weeks of action for the Arizona Wildcats. Tommy Lloyd on what he saw from Dwayne in his return.
Dwayne was awesome. It's as good as he's played all year. And, you know, sometimes as a freshman, and you see Koa didn't have a great game today statistically, but I thought he really impacted the game. He had some great defensive plays. He did a great job on Jefferson, who's a really good player. but those guys both had a little break, and you could see there's been a freshness to them. And to be honest with you, we haven't even been able to practice that hard the last couple of days, kind of ramping up for this. So Dwayne, didn't really kind of get back with us till we got back here, and just before the Kansas game. And so obviously we didn't do much at practice yesterday. So for him to come out and play like that, it's really cool. It's really cool. Dwayne's had a kind of an up and down freshman year, like a lot of freshmen have, but obviously he's incredibly talented. And for him to have that competitive character to come out and do that today says a lot about Dwayne as a person and a competitor.
And of course, in that win over Iowa State, it was defense was the calling card for the Arizona Wildcats, as they really took the Cyclones' best players, Joshua Jefferson and Milan Momcilovic, off their game in that contest. It was Koa Pete who had the primary responsibilities on Joshua Jefferson in that game. Jaden Bradley liked what he saw defensively from the young freshman.
Koa's, great on both ends of the floor, and it showed tonight to take on, that matchup. It's a tough matchup. He's physical, can step out, shoot a three. But, hats off to Koa, paid attention to the scout. That was a tough task, and, he did a great job.
My favorite part about that, Kelvin, was Joshua Jefferson tried to Barkley Koa like 8 times in that game, put that big butt on him and tried to push him back. And he's like thinking, I got a freshman here. There's no way. I'm a man. There's no way this freshman, he could not move Koa. Koa stood his ground, and that's where a lot of Joshua Jefferson's assists obviously come from him, in that mid post. Working his way through there and finding shooters on the perimeter. So Koa standing Joshua Jefferson up was a huge part of holding them to only in the 50s in scoring.
Yeah, and having a guy like Koa, you didn't have to double him. Usually that's the way he get all the assists, because he puts pressure on you with his ball handling against fours that don't have the foot quickness or the size to be able to guard him, and so you have to send help, and he moves the ball, and his team usually knocks down shots, and they just did a great job manning up and staying with their guy, because this team depended on help to force you in a situation where you have to close out so they can get their catch and shoot. So, yeah, Koa coming back and being able to defend that spot and being able to use Korchinkov, on another player, basically, really helped that team get that done.
Yeah, and Karchenkov's familiar with Momcilovic's game, because that's a lot of European guys are 6'9", looking to, find catch and shoot situations with that quick release, Kelvin. So coming up in that, Bayern Munich system, he's seen a lot of game styles like that. He was familiar.
And how about this? We got a little Wildcat breakdown from Tommy Lloyd after the ball game, and we didn't have to go to Bob Dobbs to get it. Tommy Lloyd discussing the defensive spacing that the Wildcats used against Iowa State.
We have a few teams in our league that are really good at double teaming, and Iowa State's one of them. But they have I guess the technical term is cylinder. Okay. So basically, the player with the ball is allowed a cylinder, that they can basically operate safely within. If the defender, impedes on that cylinder, in theory, it's supposed to be a defensive foul. Well, it doesn't get called a lot of times. So, that was kind of a point of emphasis, going back a couple months with the officials, where they really wanted to start calling that cylinder tighter. And so, yeah, I think we got like 3 or 4 of those calls in that game. And I told our guys, a big thing when you play Iowa State, you have to be tough enough to handle the pressure and play through the physical contact, and you have to basically hit back. You have to be able to pivot through the pressure and fight for your space. And when you do that, the referees are more apt to call a foul. If you kind of cower and you're going away from the pressure, a lot of times they don't see the foul. So I thought our guys did a good job of kind of fighting for their space. And, unfortunately we got a few whistles on it. And a big part of that game in the first half was, getting to the bonus. And once we got to the bonus, I think that last couple minutes, I think we had like maybe 6 for 6 from the free throw line, which allowed us to kind of get a little space in the first half.
Yeah, I remember when I think it was 2 games ago, maybe they called that cylinder foul.
Yeah.
It might have been at Baylor. I was like, what in the heck is that?
Well, people don't know. It's been about 8 years now. Yeah. And now, the concept of the cylinder rule has been in the game forever. You're not supposed to be in the space. You'll hear this a lot more on shooters and defenders coming into the landing zone of the shooter. A jump shooter gets in the air. You take away their ability to land. You're in their landing zone. But expanding that in the 2016-17 season, they put the cylinder rule on the books. So these aggressive teams that double team you really hard, Kelvin, if you get both your feet, if you're dancing doing the tango with somebody and you're supposed to be defending them, right, and you're really in their space, that's a cylinder foul You can surround them and use the sideline as an extra defender. But once you get up into them chest to chest, you're basically eliminating that offensive player's ability to even move. That's the cylinder foul. And this year, they're trying to make it a point of emphasis.
Yeah, but as a coach, I'd rather have a guy all in that cylinder and I have to bag him off than a guy
Or make them call it, right? Like, like Houston and Iowa State are not going to stop playing their style of defense. They're still going to aggressive double. And we only see, you said, DK, I think it was 2 or 3 games ago, we saw that call once.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. Like that kind of getting into guys' space as an offense, especially in the backcourt. If you're talking about teams who do any kind of 1-3-1 trap in or any kind of backcourt pressure, once the ball handler gets closer to the sideline, you'll see both players, go up and aggressively double. You'll see some cylinder violations but unless it's egregious, body contact should be a push, should be a shove. You're swinging at the arms, that should be a hack. You're trying to get the ball out of there. Those are different fouls. The cylinder foul is just occupying the space that the offensive player is entitled to. They're supposed to be able to have their own space to move.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You are listening to Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Gameday.
Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
Along with Kelvin Efon and JW Madden, my name is David Kelly. It is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Gameday, getting you set for number 2 Arizona on the road at Colorado. We are about 2 hours away now from tip-off. We've got about an hour and a half left with you. Let's check the scoreboard in college basketball today.
Let's take a look at what's happening today around the rest of the country. The Wildcats Radio 1290 Game Day Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm.
All the other games in the Big 12 are final. I'm sorry, all but two, because the Texas Tech BYU will also play a later game tonight. So everything but the final 2 games of the day. Baylor beat Utah 101-75. 500th career win for Baylor coach Scott Drew. They finished 6-12 in conference play. TCU is 11-7 after a 73-63 win over Cincinnati. It was number 14 Kansas over Kansas State, 104-85. Darren Peterson had 27 points in that game. Number 7, Houston, maybe tougher than they would have liked on the road at Oklahoma State, but they get the win, 82-75. They finish 14-4 in conference play. Arizona State loses their season finale as they get blown out by Iowa State, 86-65. The Cyclones scored 24 straight points in the second half of that game today. Still to play, number 10, Texas Tech at BYU. So we still are awaiting the final 2 positions to be locked up, and that is the 3 and the 4 positions for the Big 12 Conference Tournament. Top 25 action today. These are your finals. George Mason over St. Louis, 86-57. The Billikens were the 25th ranked team in the country. Number 24, Vanderbilt wins on the road at number 23, Tennessee, 86-82. Both those teams finished 11-7 in the SEC. Louisville over number 22, Miami on the road, 92-89. 20th ranked Arkansas had to go to overtime, but they beat Missouri in Columbia, 88-84. Number 15, Purdue loses at home to Wisconsin, 97-93. Number 13, Virginia over Virginia Tech, 76-72. It was 5th-ranked Florida winning at Rupp Arena, 84-77 over Kentucky. Kentucky just 10-8 this season in the ACC. Florida finishes at 16-2. Number 4, UConn lost at Marquette. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, both the Hurley brothers got ejected from their games today, I do believe. Dan Hurley got ejected in the loss at Marquette. Bobby Hurley got ejected in the loss in Ames. How about that? And I think
I wonder if that's ever happened before.
2 brothers getting ejected on the same day? I would probably think not. Number 1, Duke, big over North Carolina, 76-61. Henry Vasar, one-time Wildcat, had 11 points and 9 rebounds. Cameron Boozer, though, 26 points and 15 rebounds.
Tar Heels are in some trouble. Caleb Williams broke his hand, broke his thumb. He was already out, but he broke his thumb on Thursday.
A dunk?
In practice.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say them refs was working Connecticut though. I was watching it. They be ready. They be ready to get under his skin, boy.
Hey, enough. Danny talks a lot, so I'm sure that they're happy to hand it back.
And I'm sure he has refs that be having grudges against him too.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Some guys. I mean, you think Cronin probably doesn't get a lot of calls either, right? Like there's levels to it. Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know if you mentioned, but John Calipari did get his 900th win today.
Okay.
So he joins only a list.
That.
Yeah, there's only 5 other coaches in the history of of Power 5 college basketball who've ever secured their 900th win. That's Mike Krzyzewski, Jim Boeheim, Rick Pitino, and Roy Williams. Those are the other coaches with 900 Division I wins.
One game in progress, two teams that Arizona played this year. 16th ranked Alabama leading Auburn 27-16 about midway through the first half. U of A scoreboard, softball wins again 16-3. They won all 3 of those games from BYU by run rules in 5 innings each. Beach volleyball lost, or I should say won at the Classic up in Sun Devil Classic up in Tempe, 5-0 over Nebraska today. And baseball is currently playing over at High Corbett Field. Last check, the Wildcats, who won last night by a score of 6-0, winning also tonight early by a score of 1-0.
Also, real quick before we close scoreboard, Long Island University guys today qualified for the NCAA tournament. They're the first bid team.
Yes.
They're the first team to actually get into the NCAA tournament. Did you see why? They won their semifinal. But Mercyhurst is in the final, and they're not allowed to play in postseason because they're still transitioning from Division II to Division I. So they're in that probation period. So it doesn't matter who wins the championship game. Mercyhurst is ineligible. So Long Island University, before the championship game of their conference tournament, gets the bid.
There you go. Congratulations to Long Island. Congratulations to Miami of Ohio for finishing their regular season at 31.
Almost didn't. That was a close game, overtime.
You see how they were acting a little cocky.
Well, apparently those
after
two.
That game.
Yeah, apparently you would know better than I would. I mean, those two universities go way. But what's it called? The brick something or other.
Yeah.
Something to do with bricks.
Yeah, Miami of Ohio and Ohio. They are not friends. That's like U of A, ASU. For sure, but they were throwing up some birds to that crowd up in Athens. Be careful. You don't want to piss people off.
Yeah.
They've got votes.
Let's finally put a Miami of Ohio game on national television and see what happens.
There you go. That is your scoreboard for the moment.
The Wildcats Radio 1290 Game Day Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm.
All right, coming up, we're going to get your scouting report from Mark Johnson, the voice of the Colorado Buffaloes. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day continues after this on Wildcats Radio 1290.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus. You. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Hi guys, I'm back. What's new?
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio.
All the Scratch and Dent merchandise has its own new studio.
There were so many Scratch and Dent discounted items. Now they have a place of their own.
I love it. A whole Scratch and Dent studio right next to Tucson Appliance. They don't look like Scratch and Dent,
but it shows in the low prices.
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio. Proud local supporters of the Southern Arizona Heartball. Only at Tucson Appliance, where you are a priority.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Spring is in the air and our warm temperatures are about to turn hot. Now is the time to take advantage of pre-summer savings before the hot summer weather. Picturock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is offering 5-year, no-interest financing on the installation of green HVAC systems, OAC. Call now for your free estimate, 520-492-0748, or make your appointment online at picturockscooling.com.
Picturock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
JT Auto, where their customers are family. Stop by their newest East Side location, conveniently located at 6947 East 22nd, just west of Cole. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guarantee, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where their customers are family. 372-7704. That's 372-7704. Or jtautoaz.com.
Prepare yourself. Something extraordinary is about to break loose right in the center of town. Get ready for Casino del Sol. Bigger, brighter, bolder. We are where excitement doesn't just rise, it erupts. We are where fun doesn't just elevate, it takes flight. We aren't just a casino. We are the beginning of a new era. We are Casino del Sol, an enterprise of the Pasquayaki tribe.
Up your game in a new Buick or GMC from Royal Buick GMC. At Royal, we always deliver a quality vehicle at a great price. Score a great deal with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff and our transparent online pricing. Plus, Royal offers a 72-hour buyback guarantee. Score big at Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. See dealer for details. Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or RoyalTucson.com.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez at Meridian Wealth Management. And one of the hardest things I witness is when someone passes and they hadn't updated their beneficiaries properly beforehand. We all experience change in our lives, marriage, divorce, kids, and we work very hard for what we have. Leaving your legacy exactly the way you desire is important. This is your reminder to review all of your beneficiary designations today and at least annually. Seek guidance if you need it. Call our office at 520-719-1433 for more information.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden. Time now for a look at today's Wildcat opponent. The Scouting Report is brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier, since 1960. Here to get you there.
Final regular season game of the 2025-26 campaign for your Arizona men's basketball team on the road in Boulder against the Colorado Buffaloes, who are playing some pretty good basketball right now. As the Buffs enter this game, winners of 3 of their last 4. Let's find out a little bit about what's going on with our former compadres from the Pac-12 that came over with us from the Big 12. Only one meeting this year on the Hoops court between the Wildcats and the Buffaloes. Mark Johnson does the play-by-play for Colorado. He joins us now, and Mark, it seems like it's just weird. It seems like that we only get to play once, and we haven't played yet this season. Not to have seen Colorado until the very end. That's strange for two teams that play twice annually every single year for 10 plus years.
It's just a bizarre deal, and when you look at the end of the backside of Colorado's schedule, they've had a lot of those one-timers. And so it has been kind of an odd deal. And, yeah, here we are, last game of the season, first time that we're seeing each other. And so I'm looking forward to it. I mean, obviously, Arizona's a very good basketball team, maybe as good as anybody in the country. And Colorado's got a heck of a challenge.
Yeah, this is going to be a late one in Boulder, 9 o'clock start time. But I would imagine the final home game that there'll be a lot of juice in the CU Event Center with the number 2 team in the country coming in. Is that the anticipation that this is going to be a pretty raucous crowd?
Yeah, without question. I mean, number one, it's a huge matchup with a premier team. It's senior day. Last time you're going to get a chance to see the Buffs, of course, at home. And so, yeah, there's a lot of juice around this, a lot of excitement, and it'll be rocking without question.
Let's. I want to go back to a few weeks ago. The law, because we've been talking about. We've heard some epic rants in the Big 12 this year from coaches, starting with Bobby Hurley and of course Jerome Tang and Tad Boyle got his in after that loss at Texas Tech, where he basically flat out said he was embarrassed by his team's performance. How did that play within the Colorado community? The things that he said that night.
Well, I don't think it really created all that much of a ripple on this end. I mean, and Tad's I give him a hard time all the time. David, I always say to Tad, you never have an unspoken thought, right? It comes right out of the brain, right out of the mouth. And he does that all the time. And so that's not an unusual thing for him to say. Now, he had that great line where he talked about, I'm not sure my team deserves to fly home with a charter tonight. I did very quickly remind him at the end of it. I said, you know what? I agree with everything you're saying. I will say this, however, the play-by-play guy did a great job tonight. He deserves to fly home with a charter. And so I said, if you want me, I'll go ahead and take it back, and I'll meet you guys back there when you fly commercially. We were laughing about that. But Tad's a very honest guy, and he gets in trouble sometimes with the fan base because of that. I don't think that one played too poorly with the fan base. They're kind of accustomed to that. And the way they played against Houston, I think it was probably right on. But listen, the Jerome Tang thing, that had different, shall we say, circumstances around it, because he didn't say a whole lot different than what Tad did. Tad's not on the hot seat. Jerome Tang was in the hot seat, and obviously he's unemployed right now.
It's your scouting report, and it's brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier, since 1960, here to get you there. We're joined by Mark Johnson. He is the play-by-play man for the Colorado Buffaloes. But again, like I mentioned, after that, you guys lost in overtime to BYU, but the team has played better since then. Do you think it kind of was one of those things where it hit the guys in the pants and maybe put their mind in a little bit better focus?
Well, I think it did to some degree. And when you look at Colorado's losses this season, now it's not entirely true. But it runs pretty consistent. I mean, look at the losses at Houston. Okay, we all understand that. BYU, I know they've struggled, and that was a heck of a basketball game. Went to overtime. At Texas Tech, now they lost one at Baylor, where Baylor was just out of their minds that day. They lost at Iowa State, and so they haven't lost. In fact, I got to go back and check this for the broadcast. But I don't think they've lost a game against anybody behind them in the standings. They've won games they're supposed to win. And then when you lose on the road against some of the top, 5, 6, 8, 10 teams in the country, that's not a real sin. Now, the issue has been the fact that some of them got away from them. They played Texas Tech very tough, lost by, 2 or 4 against Tech at home, and then went and got embarrassed down in Lubbock. And so this young basketball team has been a very home-heavy team. And I know that's the way everyone is to some degree, but it's been an extreme deal for Colorado, their home and away splits. And so I think he was very upset about that, trend kind of continuing with this thing.
Fabulous freshman guard in Isaiah Johnson. This young man comes from an interesting background. His dad has worked with some of the best to ever play in the NBA. And so he's, I'm sure, been around the game and probably been in some of those sessions with guys like Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. What's been special about this freshman year he's had in Boulder?
Well, I'll tell you this. If not for the phenomenal freshman class we've got in college basketball, somebody said the other day that some of the projections out there have like 10 of the top 12 picks being freshmen, out of college basketball for the NBA draft. I don't know if that's true or not, but that was kind of the word I was given. I think in a normal year, he'd probably be getting a lot more pub than he is right now because he's been outstanding. And you're right. For your listeners that don't know, his father works for Clutch Sports, which is LeBron's deal. So he's been tied in with LeBron. Dwayne Wade was at the game in Salt Lake the other night. That's his godfather. Chris Paul has swung by games to see him. I asked him one day, we were doing a little sit-down together, and I said, when did you start playing against the NBA guys? He said, well, I was about 13 or 14. Now, if you look at him, he looks like he's 13 or 14 years old. He's a very youthful-looking kid. He weighs $164 soaking wet. I mean, there's just nothing about him that screams big-time player, but he's got a great toughness to him. And he plays very mature for what he looks like and kind of his size. He's 6'1" and a little light in the pants, as they say. And so he's really a talented young man. Has put up some huge numbers. And if there's anything you question about the Colorado Buffaloes this season, you don't question the way he's played and the way Barrington Hargress, the point guard, has played. Those two have been the most consistent players all season long for Colorado. But, yeah, Isaiah's really been a joy and will get a lot more attention if not for the phenomenal freshman class we've got in college basketball.
Yeah, and when you talk about a young, it appears like this might be one of the younger teams that Tad's ever had. A lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores.
Yeah. Oh, it really is. So along with Isaiah Johnson, you've got Jalen Holland, who's another freshman. Ian Inman. Taco Ifala is a big guy inside who's a freshman. Josiah Sanders was the player of the year in Colorado. Those are all freshmen. And there are times, in this day and age of college athletics with the transfer portal, and it seems like every time you turn around, there's about, 5 guys on the court from the opposing team that have played for 4 or 5 different schools and are 24 years old. There are times out there, I'll kind of run down the lineup coming out of a timeout, and it'll be 4 freshmen and a junior or something along those lines, or sometimes 5 freshmen. It is an exceedingly young team for Tad Boyle, which is why I think he's kind of excited about it. But here's the problem. In this day and age, can you keep that group together? That becomes the issue, right? I mean, everyone's going to come in and try and raid those guys. If he can keep them together, I think he feels real optimistic about what's laying down down the stretch or down the future for Colorado. But right now, it's a very talented group of young players. So there are times, they don't know what they don't know, and sometimes they'll play like freshmen. But they do it. There's an old line I heard in college athletics one time, and it said, if you're going to make a mistake going really fast. And these guys will do that. I mean, they play hard. They are talented, and so they're awful fun to watch. But we'll see if he can keep them together for another year or two and really do something special here.
We're pleased to be joined by Mark Johnson. He is the play-by-play man for the Colorado Buffaloes. It is the Cats and the Buffs to wrap up the regular season. And it's your scouting report brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier, since 1960, here to get you there. And Mark, I want to ask you about your big man, Bangot Dak. He averages 11.7 rebounds. Junior, what kind of big man is this?
He's a pogo stick. All right. I mean, and I say that literally. He's now it's kind of funny. He's 7 feet tall, but he doesn't want to be 7 feet tall. And so he told me one time, he goes, you always say I'm 7 feet tall. I said, well, BD, you are 7 feet tall. He says, no, I'm 6'11 3/4. I don't want to be 7 feet tall because then they make you a center. Well, all right, let's play that game. So we have some fun on the air. I always go, and here's the 7 foot tall center who's not 7 feet tall, by the way. And but he's a pogo stick, just up and down guy. And I say pogo stick, he weighs 203 pounds, and that's maybe on a good day with both pockets filled with change. I mean, he is a really light guy, but he's got phenomenal length and swatting shots. He's going to be challenged greatly, obviously, with some of the big aircraft carriers that Arizona has inside and the way they control the paint and what they do. He'll be challenged greatly in this ball game, but he's awful fun to watch. He's an above-the-rim guy. Gets block shots. He had 4 block shots the other day in the victory at Utah, and so he's a fun player. He's still on the raw side, even though he is a junior, but he's coming along and can, there are games he can really be special, and so it'll be interesting to see how he deals with the physical size of Arizona.
Well, and it's interesting because going back to the top, we talked about what happened at Texas Tech, and that was one game he kind of struggled in. What happened that night?
Well, exactly what I'm talking about, right? You get in there, and that night, J.T. Toppin was still playing.
Yeah.
He's a very powerful, strong player, as we all know. And when he gets into a physical wrestling match, that's not the, shall we say, the prime matchup for Bangot Dak. Getting into an old-fashioned kind of in the paint, grind it out kind of ball game, that's not where he's going to excel. And so if he's got to deal with great physicality in there, that becomes problematic. And in those situations, some of those minutes kind of fall, then they kind of pull him out of the paint. He's capable of putting on the floor. And they'll bring in Elijah Malone, who's, 6'10", 270 in his 60s, and then that's the guy you want to wrestle in. So that's not what BD wants to do. He doesn't want to wrestle with you. That's not his game.
It'll be a reunion of the Mannings in Boulder. Danny Manning and on the coaching staff for Tad Boyle. Evan Manning sitting in one of the chairs next to Tommy Lloyd. That's a great addition to have a Danny Manning for the second year on your staff. What has that done for the Colorado program to have such a great veteran like that?
Well, I think, and for folks who don't know, when Danny got to Kansas back in whatever that was, 84, 85 or whatever it was, Tad Boyle was a senior and was the captain on that team. And so there's the connection of why Danny's on this staff. they've been close for many, many years. Danny raved about what Tad, even though Tad was not a great player, he was a great leader on that Kansas team. That was the year before they won the national championship. And so Danny's always had an affinity for Tad. And to bring a guy like that is truly, if you're going to put together the Mount Rushmore greatest college players, Danny's going to be on there. I mean, he's one of the phenomenal players in college basketball history, and then injuries, of course, got to him when he got in the NBA. But to have a guy like that with his kind of knowledge, he's been a head coach on a couple of different stops. He knows what that's all about. He's loyal to Tad. He's a very good recruiter. And then just that basketball knowledge for these guys. He's been a phenomenal addition to this staff. And by the way, you'll get a kick out of this. We're sitting one night on the road, and he and I are talking one evening after dinner and sat there for an hour and a half or something and just kind of shot the breeze. And I said, what do you think you'd be worth? Danny Manning at 17, coming the way he was. I mean, he was heralded back then. You remember he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And I said, what do you think would be worth an NIL number? And he looked at me. He's a very, very laid back guy. He looked at me very deadpan. He says, I don't think about that kind of thing because it makes me angry. And so I thought that was a great response because Danny was a legitimate, bona fide star coming into college. And in today's day and age where we throw money at just the average Jimmy and Joe, Danny would have been one of the top level guys.
No question about that. Mark, always great to have an opportunity to talk to you. Continued success with the Buffaloes in this game and on into Kansas City. And have a great call.
All right. Appreciate it. Take care.
Mark Johnson, the voice of the Colorado Buffaloes. That is your scouting report for tonight.
And that's the lowdown on the team U of A is about to face on the hardwood. The Scouting Report has been brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier since 1960. Here to get you there.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 40 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcasts. So if you've been injured, make the right choice. First
Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Discover your perfect vehicle at Cactus Auto, Tucson's trusted destination for certified pre-owned cars for over 30 years. They offer a wide range of certified pre-owned vehicles featuring the brands and models you love. Their finance experts are here to provide you with top dollar trade-in offers and help you find the best financing options, regardless of your credit history. With approved credit, enjoy no payments for up to 90 days. Trust Cactus Auto for quality, affordable pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, all backed by incredible savings and a 7-day exchange guarantee. Visit cactusauto.com.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Spring is in the air and our warm temperatures are about to turn hot. Now is the time to take advantage of pre-summer savings before the hot summer weather. Picturock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is offering 5-year, no-interest financing on the installation of green HVAC systems, OAC. Call now for your free estimate, 520-492-0748, or make your appointment online at picturockscooling.com.
Picturock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Wildcat fans, where do you go when the final buzzer sounds? You don't head home. You head to Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies, Tucson's home court for great food, craft beer, and nonstop fun. At Roadies, you can bowl, throw an axe, play arcade games, or grab a burger while the next game plays on the massive screens. Then, catch the newest movies right next door at Roadhouse Cinemas with luxury recliners and full in-seat dining. Game days, movie nights, anytime. Make it a win at Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies on the corner of Grant and Swan.
So, what is it that scares you the most?
The blue trucks from Essential Pest Control, Doctor. They leave bugs belly up.
I use one of those national companies.
Thanks, Doc. Those guys don't scare me.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Buy local and stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. That's 866-3029. Or visit essentialpest.com.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Spring is on its way, and we all know that extreme heat comes next. Right now is the time to get your car or truck road trip ready. And with 14 convenient locations, 6 decades of service, and dozens of top shop awards, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the place. This month, get back big rebates on all your favorite major brand tires. Save more on the most affordable, long-lasting tires. Check out jackfurriers.com for details and money-saving coupons. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. here to get you there.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Why do I spend so much time educating our youth about financial wellness? I have seen the fire ignite inside of young adults when I show them how the power of compound investing can change their futures. This is Natalie Fernandez at Meridian Wealth Management, and I'm committed to affecting change with our youth. An idea for all of you listening today, gift a Roth IRA contribution for the holidays or birthdays for your kids and grandkids. Contact our office at 520-719-1433 for guidance and details. The change begins with us.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Bradley down into the lane, lay it up and good. Previous turnaround jump hook is good. Del Orso springs a three out there and drains it. Milwaukee takes away the rebound and slams it home. It's a man's game.
Bear down, Cats. Our window depot coverage of University of Arizona basketball continues with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to tip off for Arizona Wildcats basketball. This is Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Bradley drives the lane, up and under, missed it, no good. Owaka, the rebound, lay it up and in. Tobe Owaka out muscles everybody.
Let's take a look at the Right Way rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
Final hour of our pregame show as we take you up to 8:30. We'll hand it off to Brian Jeffries and Ryan Hansen in Boulder, Colorado for the regular season finale. One more hour with us. We will start to identify who might be that Colorado Buffalo that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin tonight. It's your Pest of the Game, brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Who will beat the book tonight? U of A 14.5-point favorite in this game. Your over-under is 156.5. Casino del Sol, hoping that you don't beat the book too much on them. But head on out to Soul Sports. I'm sure they'll have the game on there tonight. Keys to the game, presented by Royal Automotive. Starting lineup by Rocking K. That is still to come. Also, we're going to hear from Tad Boyle, Barrington Hargris, Isaiah Johnson, Anthony Del Orso, Tommy Lloyd, and Toby Owaka still to come before we get out of here. All right, first and foremost, the injury report, the new injury report has just come out. And it is there's no one on it for Arizona, which is good. There is one name on it for the Colorado Buffaloes, and it is a substantial name. Sebastian Ranchik is out of this ball game tonight for the Buffaloes. He is one of the important big men in this Colorado lineup. 6'11" forward out of Slovakia. He has grabbed an average of 8 rebounds in the last 6 games he has played. And so when you got guys like Toby Owaka out there, you really kind of need guys like Sebastian Ranchik. But that is one guy that Colorado will not have tonight. Let's hear from Tad Boyle on that situation.
Sebby's a good player. He's been playing well here down the stretch. But, when one guy goes down, it's just an opportunity for somebody else to step up. You need your bench in this league especially to come in and give you a lift. And, again, I don't know when Sebby will be back. We'll figure that out.
He played at J. Sarah Catholic High School out in Southern California. That's a popular place that's produced a lot of big-time college basketball players. Dad is a graduate of Iowa State, so it's a young man that's grown up around the game. But, fellas, that's a huge loss for Colorado.
I mean, Kelvin, their play-by-play voice, Mark Johnson, just got done saying that Bangkok Dak maybe doesn't like to bang against big bodies. So when you look at Arizona's front line, every team they face this year needs to match that physicality. So when one of the bigs for Colorado with some experience and some size goes out, that just makes them thinner and harder to deal with Arizona's strength.
Yeah, no, that's a tough loss versus Arizona. I mean, you need all the bigs you can get when you got a
face the Tobio Walkers of the world. But again, Thad is one of those coaches that understands that, hey, it's the next guy up type of mentality. So, you know, I suspect a guy like Alon Mike Kelly, I suspect him, 6'9", 230 freshman, to get a few more minutes and see what he could bring.
The point guard on this team is Barrington Hargress. He is a transfer from UC Riverside out of Inglewood, California, and he is one of the reasons Tad Boyle says this team has been so good this season at taking care of the basketball.
What screamed out to me about Coach Boyle was just that KJ Simpson was a big reason, because I grew up playing against KJ, and just understanding the type of player that KJ was and that Coach Boyle got him to be. I really aspired that, and I really trusted that. And then also the things that he wanted from a point guard were things that I really wanted to be. So I really just wanted to impact winning. So that's really just been my focus ever since I've gotten here. And, I mean, that's kind of how my game kind of speaks for itself now. Like, I shoot very efficiently now, and that's really been something I take pride in. And that's all just because I really just wanted to play good basketball and trust my teammates. And that's really what I told the coaching staff I was coming here to do, and they've allowed me to do that.
Barrington Hargress talking about why he chose to transfer from Riverside to Colorado. He is currently second in the Big 12 in assist-to-turnover ratio at 3.5. So, again, a guy that can handle the basketball. He could be potentially a pest for this team. Can we go back to the Tad talking about this young man, if we have that one here? If not, we'll move on to Isaiah Johnson. He could be a pest for the Colorado Buffaloes. He is a freshman, and we heard Mark Johnson in our interview talk about his background. He has played, or his dad is a trainer with Clutch Sports, so he has trained a lot of guys like Chris Paul, like LeBron James, and let's hear Isaiah's version of what we chatted about with Mark in terms of when he first started playing against NBA guys.
I'd probably say fourth grade.
Fourth grade?
Yeah, fourth grade.
You were what, 10, 9?
10.
10 years old.
Yes, sir.
When did you feel like you belonged on the court with them?
Not till last summer.
Last summer, okay.
Yeah, last summer I really felt like physically, like I'm still not there, obviously, but I was able to keep up. You know, I just felt like my game has really evolved over the time. So yeah, last summer coming into college, I really felt like I could belong.
That's pretty cool, Calvin, to be able to be 10 years old, working out with some of the top guys to play in the NBA.
That's really impressive, and that's the advantages you get, again, when your dad is a coach or a trainer or something. You hear that a lot from guys whose dad is a coach. My son is 12, and he practices with our 17-year-old guys and 18-year-old guys. So, they get a chance to be around basketball all the time and these interesting guys, and they get to learn from so many different people.
Let's hear now from Tad Boyle a little bit on Barrington Hargress and how his ability to handle the basketball has taken effect on his teammates as well.
7 turnovers on the road. I mean, to me, when you do that, it's pretty special. This team has done a pretty darn good job most of the year, save for maybe 5 or 6 games out of 30. Where we've had, 15, 16, 17 turnovers. But tonight to have 7 on the road, in this kind of environment. And the 7 we had were so, uncharacteristic. Now, Barrington, he did a great job all year taking care of the ball. He had 2 tonight. It feels like he had 10 because I never expect him to turn it over. Like, never. But he did a good job and has all year. But our whole team has done a good job.
All right, so maybe Isaiah Johnson, possibly Barrington Hargress, maybe Bangkok Dak, maybe Felix Caceres. Let's find out who we believe is going to be that Buffalo that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin today.
Who is the pest that the Wildcats need to be free from to win today's game? The Pest of the Game is brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at essentialpest.com.
All right, Kelvin, who do you have tonight getting underneath the Wildcats' skin?
Yeah, I think at 6'1", 165, that Defiance pest with Isaiah Johnson. I just think that he's a guy that can create and make things happen off the bounce. He gets to the free throw line. He has attempted 181 free throws. Not a big three-point shooter, but he can shoot it. He's made 50. I just think that he's a guy that you really have to pay attention to in games like this. He's only a freshman, but you could expect him to step up in the night against a team like Arizona.
We talk about the loss of Sebastian Rainchik. That's also important because he's one of their best three-point shooters as well in terms of volume on this team. So not only do they lose a big in there, but they also lose a guy that can help them from the outside. I'll go with Barrington Hargress there. Excuse me. I think, again, this is their point man, but he's also, in terms of percentage-wise, their best three-point shooter at 51%. And so if Barrington Hargress is feeling himself tonight from behind the arc, as well as dishing out to other guys to have an opportunity to make some three-point shots, he could be a guy that really messes with this U of A defense. So I'm going to go with Barrington Hargress.
Yeah, I was going to go with Barrington as well, just because he averaged 20 points a game last year prior to going to Colorado. So that's a dude who knows how to fill it up. But I'll go with Bangkok Dak. I think it's a tough matchup for him. You're obviously looking at a super physical, very muscular front line for Arizona. Not exactly what he does well against. However, really bouncy pogo stick type athlete. So if he stays out of foul trouble, if he can affect shots at the rim, and if Arizona is struggling from the outside, you could see him be that rim protector that could help Colorado's defense round in. So generally a pest to me is a guy who steals a lot of balls and knocks down a lot of threes. Today I'll go with the guy who blocks a lot of shots, Bangkok Dak.
There you go. So Bangkok Dak, Isaiah Johnson, Barrington Hargress, the three guys we believe could most get underneath the Wildcats' skin in this game.
That's our best of the game. Brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at essentialpest.com. For all the questions you need answered, it's DK with TL. Our David Kelly asks Tommy Lloyd questions, and you get the answers. DK with TL is sponsored by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Hughes Federal Credit Union. We take you further.
All right, it's a DK sort of with TL because I did not get a chance to talk to the head coach last week. But this is a question I might have asked him because it's a subject we've been talking about a lot on the pregame shows, and that's the fact that the Wildcats are as good as any team in the nation in the kill shots.
Darn you, Norfolk State.
Yeah, are they still up there? Norfolk State?
Yeah, I think to date, Arizona's only given up. You're talking about stopping big runs. Norfolk State's the only team in the 30 games that has had a 10-0 run versus Arizona.
That's correct. But Iowa State had a 10-1 run in the second half. Early in the second half, they were down 16. They used a 10-1 run to chop that lead down, or their deficit down to 7 with about 14 minutes to go. So putting themselves in a situation where they might have had a shot, but the Wildcats quickly took that lead back up to close to 20 points, as they tend to do. They've had 32 10-0 runs this season. Tommy Lloyd, after the game, talking about how he wants his team to handle when opponents get on runs like that.
I mean, what's the old cliche? It's a game of runs. You know, there is a little truth to that. And you know when you're playing a good team that, you know, if you get up on them, there's from all the thousands of basketball games I've watched over the years, there's a good likelihood they can make a run back at you. And when they make a run back at you, it's really important not to buckle. Not to feel bad, not to feel guilty, you know, that you lost a lead, because there's still game to be played, and obviously the objective once you start the game is to win the 40 minutes, not, you know, be up 16, you know, 8 minutes into the game, and then let's say 4 minutes into the second half they go up 2, you can't, because that 18-point swing, you can't feel bad because you still got to win the game. So we talk about that all the time, just staying steady. Get into the next thing. Let's be in the moment. The moment's this possession, and then then let's try to create good opportunities for the next possession. We really keep it that simple.
And those are the questions that you needed answered. DK with TL is sponsored by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Hughes Federal Credit Union. We take you further. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 3 of the pregame show is brought to you by ABC Heating and Cooling, Arizona Commercial Lighting, Blue Sky Pest Control, Broadway and Tucson's 20th anniversary season, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, The Injury Lawyers, Gospel Rescue Mission, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Shamrock Heating and Cooling, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Appliance Company, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Morning begins in the Rincon foothills. Rocking K, a master-planned community and place to call home, offering distinct neighborhoods designed to fit your lifestyle. Explore the outdoors, walk the trails, visit Saguaro National Park. Enjoy community parks and make new friends at Rocking K resident events. Walk to Vail School District's newest campus in Rocking K, Saguaro Creek. 17 model homes, 6 quality builders, move-in ready homes available from the 300s. Rocking K, designed by nature. A community by design.
Hughes Federal Credit Union has an online account that fits your needs and lifestyle. With our free checking account, there are no monthly fees and no minimum balance. 24/7 mobile and online banking, unlimited bill pay, a free Visa debit card with your choice of designs, and a vast network of fee-free ATMs. Or upgrade to a checking plus rewards account that offers discounts, deals, valuable services, and so much more. It's easy to sign up online at hughesfcu.org/checking. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Tohono Nation.
Now is the perfect time to start your next home renovation project. At the Window Depot, you get factory direct prices, no installers, no middleman, and serious savings. Windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, all in stock and ready to take home today. Perfect for DIYers and contractors who want to save thousands and get materials fast. Your project, your timeline, the best prices. Shop online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you.
Up your game in a new Buick or GMC from Royal Buick GMC. At Royal, we always deliver a quality vehicle at a great price. Score a great deal with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff and our transparent online pricing. Plus, Royal offers a 72-hour buyback guarantee. Score big at Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. See dealer for details. Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or RoyalTucson.com.
Oh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the Neighborly Done Right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed. Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing, a Neighborly company.
The Target, 422 Maple Drive. No tripped alarms, no broken windows. While you were sleeping, they made off with $50,000 in equity, and they didn't even use a getaway car.
Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Don't let termites turn your equity into sawdust. We stop the heist before the damage is done. Call 520-201-2000 for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, termites.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Some help now out to Bradley. Got away from Torre. Drives right of the lane. Run it up off the glass and score it. What a pretty shot from Jaden Bradley.
Houdini, he was trapped by Cyclones in the lane and snuck out of there like a magic act.
Ryan Hansen coming up with some buttes there. Jaden Bradley and his Wildcats heading into Colorado tonight to take on the Buffaloes. 28 wins so far this season for U of A in 30 games. It ties the program's single season record for most regular season wins, also reaching that milestone in 1987-88, 2013-14, 2014-15, and 21-22. So the 14 and 15 teams, I believe, those were both of the Elite Eight teams under Sean Miller. So a chance to maybe have a team that can go deep again for your Arizona Wildcats. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. If you'd like to get in on the program, you can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. You can interact with any of our social media platforms. We did get the question of the day. It'll be up through, I think, 9 a.m. Monday morning. And that is, if you believe that Jaden Bradley is going to win Big 12 Hoops Player of the Year. Right now, 62% of the voters saying yes, they do believe that Jaden will win, but 38% say no.
I wonder how many players who have led the nation in scoring, Kelvin, didn't win their Conference Player of the Year. Because right now, A.J. DeBonsa leads the nation in points per game.
Yeah.
And obviously, BYU has been on a rough stretch since Richie Saunders went down. I think it was probably going to be between him. Those guys who get the stats, those guys whose teams need them, Kelvin, to put up 16, 20 shots a game and get them 20 points a game, are generally, if their team finishes in the top half of the conference. So, yeah, it's odd because A.J. DeBonsa right now, guys, leads the nation in scoring. But, yeah, I think to me, it's got to be the best player, best team was always a packed thing. We'll see what happens with the Big 12.
I did want to update something real quick on the Goldberg and Osborne scoreboard out at High Corbett Field. The Wildcats are leading 2-0 over Fresno State. Fresno State has not scored a run in this series. They are going to the 7th inning. 15 innings, 15 scoreless innings right now. Arizona's pitching staff is working on. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. If the pitching seems like it's starting to come around, and it has definitely come around this weekend as Fresno State has not scored a run in 15 innings so far. We'll keep an eye on that game and have a final for you, obviously, coming up later on in our post-game show. Anthony Del Orso, he has been back as of late, playing well. He talked a little bit after the game on Monday about how his ankle is feeling, the one he turned late in the Wildcats win over Baylor.
That's great. J-Rock, Melly, all the guys in the training room, they're the best. I've never seen anyone like them. Obviously, to go through what I went through only a week ago, they've been able to speed run me, and it feels great. I wouldn't be able to play at all if it wasn't for those guys.
You said you did like 15 hours a day or something on that Texas trip.
Yeah, basically, like the Houston game was at 2. We probably got back at around 5, and it was like straight to it. He was in the hotel room 24/7. You know, breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the road. That whole 5-day trip. Like, I can't thank J-Rock enough and all those guys. They seriously like took me from no chance to I'm 110%.
I was wondering, yeah, did you ever think it could keep you out for a game or anything, or have any doubts about it?
Nah, I basically just listened to J-Rock and did everything I could, and just not try to get psych myself out on the feelings. He's got a repertoire for these sort of things, and his resume on building that is unbelievable. So I just trusted him.
Always listen to J-Rock. He is by far one of the smartest guys in the room and one of the best trainers you're going to find in college basketball. It's pretty amazing and it's not just J-Rock. There's a lot of things that these trainers are doing. I mean, we saw it during the football season how, they were able to get some guys out there and playing. They probably should not have been out there playing. The science behind recovery has gotten so fine with these athletes that the recoveries that we're seeing are unbelievably quick in a lot of instances.
Hey, man, these are, high valuable players.
High stakes, too.
Yeah,
High stakes.
High stakes, right? Okay, so, yeah, man, you could only imagine what these, the doctors and these trainers are getting paid now, man, to do their thing because, getting these players on the field healthy to be able to play for you is just so important to be able to be successful. As we always say, the best ability is availability.
Over the last 5 games, Anthony Dell'Orso, the Tasmanian Devil, if you want to call him that. What was the other one? The other nickname that came out last week? Oh gosh, I can't remember the other one.
Sniper, something.
Yeah,
Sniper.
yeah. The Aussie Sniper was the other one. I think I like that one better than Tasmanian Devil.
Boomer was mentioned in there too.
Boomer. Yeah, there were several. I don't know if we didn't ever do that. The question of the day. Maybe we'll still have to do that before it's all said and done. Anyway,
does Anthony Dell'Orso get a vote?
If he wants.
For his own
nickname? He can vote. Yeah, he can vote. If he has burner accounts, he can vote a lot.
Who is he, KD?
I don't know. He's averaged 14 points over the last 5 games while shooting 50% from the floor, including 39% from 3. Let's hear from Anthony on his recent scoring surge.
I think it's credit to my teammates, firstly. They've never lacked belief in me or confidence. And that's another credit to this team. I'm able to do what I can do, whether I'm playing good, bad, whatever. These guys will always understand what I bring and vice versa to them. That's something that has helped me through the year, the ups and downs. Obviously, coaches, putting the work in, just staying positive. I know what I can do. I know how good I am at certain things and just trusting it. Some nights it goes, some nights it doesn't. You can't get so down that you can't get back out.
How has it felt though? Because it's a weight off your shoulder, or what? How does it feel?
I mean, it feels great. Obviously, to play better, it feels unbelievable, and to keep winning, I think that's the best thing. When I can have a stretch where it wasn't the best, and we're still winning, that's the best feeling. That shows how good we are. It can be anyone's night, any night. It makes teams really hard to scout us because we have so many guys that can do so many things. That was the best thing. I mean, I can sit here and be, in a hole and worry about myself, but we're still winning. So, I got to be the best teammate I can.
11 of his last 28 from 3. That's over the last 5 games, starting to make that shot, as well as still being aggressive to the hole, which is great to see for Anthony as well.
That's why I made the comparison to the yips, right? Because it's all mechanics. You've done it a billion times. You know how many 3-pointers Anthony Dell'Orso has shot in his life, Kelvin? I mean, infinite number, right? So when you get in a shooting slump like that, but you're a good shooter with good mechanics, you don't get in your head. You don't think I'm not going to make the next one. You don't think I'm not going to be able to make this throw to first. You think, hey, I've done this. I've been in the gym by myself. I've been in many games. My mechanics are good. Just set your feet. Make sure your shot goes all the way through your ankles, through your gooseneck, and let it fly. And be confident that the next shot's going to go in, and eventually it will. And that's what happened for Anthony Dell'Orso.
He has played, obviously, off the bench this year alongside Toby Awaka. Awaka averaging 10 and 10 right now. How about the fact that Toby Awaka has made 17 straight free throws in the last 4 games? There's no hack of Toby going on.
Yeah, he say, keep me in the game.
Exactly.
Don't take me out. Don't take me out.
Because he has been knocking them down for sure. He had 10 points and 15 rebounds in the game against Iowa State. 6th double-double of the year, 17th of his career. On senior night, Toby and Anthony talked about accepting roles coming off the bench this season.
I mean, I didn't really look too far down this line, but I knew that if we put the right pieces in place, we could do something special. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I just trust the coach to the max. I know his character as a person and as a coach, and there's nobody else, coaching-wise I would want to put my trust in when it comes to that kind of stuff. And, he's always looked out for me as a person and as a player. So I didn't really, I didn't really, think twice about doing that, in the beginning of the season.
Your thoughts on that? Just kind of how your role fit into the way this team worked out?
Yeah, it's at the start, it's definitely interesting because it's something I've never been through in my life. So it's I didn't know what to expect. But like Tobe said, we know coach and we know what the team has and what we can bring, and he trusts us to the max. He doesn't care about what the stats say or what like the lineup says or anything like that. He just puts you in there and he instills the most confidence in you and tells you to go out there and have fun and kill it. And I think it's been great for our team. I think like me watching Tobe, the way he attacks it and the way he accepts that role and he's able to turn it into his own thing. I mean, I think that's huge for our team, and it takes out so much ego and so much selfishness and all those feelings that can bring a team down. So a guy like Tobe that can just accept that so well and thrive off it, it's helped our team tremendously.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
Along with Kelvin Ifan and JW Madden, my name is David Kelly. It is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, regular season finale. A late tip tonight in Boulder, Colorado, 9 o'clock on ESPN2. It is your Arizona Wildcats and the Colorado Buffaloes. We are about 1 hour away from the start of that game. Half an hour left with us as we begin to wind down our portion of the pregame. Hand it over to Brian Jeffries and Ryan Hansen, who will have the call tonight from Boulder, Colorado. Let's find out if we can beat the book tonight.
Tucson, it's time to beat the book. Will the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at the numbers and find out how you should bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, as we head into game number 31, DK plus 12. J-Dub plus 6, Kelvin minus 2. Arizona is a 14.5-point favorite in this game tonight on the road at Colorado. We'll start with Kelvin Ifan on that one. Kelvin, Colorado, plus 14.5.
Yeah, I think I'm out to. I think I was looking at this and I got us winning by 15. So yeah, I got to put it by 15. So 85 to 70. If you
All
want to
right,
know.
so Arizona minus the 14.5 points tonight. JW Madden.
Yeah, I think it's tough because clearly Arizona's front line is way too much to handle for Colorado, especially with their injury issues. So I definitely think in a normal game, Arizona wins by 15 or more. And as you've talked about all week, how much do they put some of those starters and rotation guys on the bench when they get out to a big lead? But I'll agree with Kelvin. I think Arizona is just too. Arizona's strengths don't match up well with Colorado's personnel. So yeah. I think the defense on their freshman guard is going to be a lot, and I think that the front line for Arizona is just going to be super physical and super dominant. They're going to be getting ready for March. March is here. So, yeah, I think Arizona wins by more than 14.5.
All right. Senior day, obviously, for the home team, and I still don't think that I think that Tommy's probably going to play this by the book. I don't know that he should, but he will. But I still think that's a high number for a last home game for Colorado. I think it's going to be close. I think Arizona wins by double digits, but I just don't think it's going to be 15 plus. So I'm going to take Colorado and that 14.5 points there. Over under tonight is 156.5. I do think 156, 70s. I'm going to take the under on that. I think it'll be a game in the 70s again, much like we've seen of late. I don't think it gets into the 80s tonight at altitude.
Well, I said 85 to 70, so that comes out to 155.
155.
So that's under.
Under.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing, their teams the last couple of years haven't exactly shown it, but what Colorado's been famous for is their man-to-man defense. And so senior night, I just feel like they're going to get a little bit of extra juice out there. And I think Arizona's defense, you talk about the offense a lot, but the Arizona defense is what's going to carry them as deep as it takes them in March. So both those teams are going to be focused on trying to stop the other. So, yeah, I think under as well.
All right, so everybody is taking the under on this game today. Kelvin and J-Dub are going to take the Wildcats and lay that 14.5. DK is taking the Buffaloes and the 14.5 points. We'll find out who beats the book tonight, coming up on the post-game show.
That is how you bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 3 of the pregame show is brought to you by ABC Heating and Cooling, Arizona Commercial Lighting, Blue Sky Pest Control, Broadway and Tucson's 20th anniversary season, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, The Injury Lawyers, Gospel Rescue Mission, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Shamrock Heating and Cooling, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Appliance Company, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed. Life well lived.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Spring is on its way, and we all know that extreme heat comes next. Right now is the time to get your car or truck road trip ready. And with 14 convenient locations, 6 decades of service, and dozens of top shop awards, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the place. This month, get back big rebates on all your favorite major brand tires. Save more on the most affordable, long-lasting tires. Check out jackfurriers.com for details and money-saving coupons. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, here to get you there.
The cold Arizona nights are here. Is your furnace ready? For just $59, Rightway is offering a complete system tune-up, ensuring your furnace runs efficiently to keep your home comfortable all season long. Routine maintenance is key to avoiding costly breakdowns. And with over 11,000 5-star Google reviews, you can trust Rightway to get the job done right. Plus, we'll include a free carbon monoxide test for your peace of mind. Call Rightway today at 520-640-2665 or visit us at rightwayac.com for your $59 complete system tune-up.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
So, what is it that scares you the most?
The blue trucks from Essential Pest Control, Doctor. They leave bugs belly up.
I use one of those national companies.
Thanks, Doc. Those guys don't scare me.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Buy local and stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. That's 866-3029. Or visit essentialpest.com.
It's a full-court press this March at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Join our $1 million March Mania promotion for your shot at $1 million with your bracket picks. Or win $100,000 with a perfect prop card, now through April 6th. Swipe your Club Soul card daily for a free drawing entry. Plus, every 200 slot and table points is an additional entry. Then join us April 6th for the grand finale drawing, only at Casino del Sol, an enterprise of the Pascua Yaqui tribe.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Everyone loves a backyard barbecue, but who has the time? I'm Josh Bishop, owner of Fork and Fire in Oro Valley and Catalina. My brother, best friend, and I have been cooking for one another and our neighbors for years, and we still get to live our passion every day at Fork and Fire. In Oro Valley, you'll discover bold, smoky brisket, ribs, pulled pork, and many creative dishes paired with local craft beers on tap and specialty cocktails. Fork and Fire, your neighborhood backyard barbecue, where great food meets good times and strong community. Join us today at Fork and Fire, Oro Valley, and in Catalina.
Now that's what I call savings. If you're looking for a real truck, get up to $7,500 off a new 2026 Chevy Silverado, plus up to $2,500 off a 2026 Chevy Equinox, and $8,500 off the Equinox EV. It's all happening now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Truck tough deals, real savings. Call us at 747-8000 or see us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall or on the web at O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Jefferson driving on Pete. Throws it up wildly, no good. Taken away by Arizona. 3-on-1 break. Del Orso off to Burry's laid up and good.
Outstanding defense, forcing the ball out of the hands of the playmakers, getting a turnover and converting it.
Final segment of our pregame shows we get you set for Arizona men's basketball tonight. Wildcats and the Colorado Buffaloes. We celebrated our seniors earlier this week on senior night at McHale Center. Jaden Bradley, Toby Awaka, Anthony Delorso among those. Evan Nelson as well was there. And obviously, three of those guys, when you talk about Toby Awaka as well, have played in a lot of games at McHale Center. Toby and Anthony over the course of the last 2 years. Jaden for 3 seasons now, having played games there. Let's hear from them on what they feel like their best game or favorite game was playing in an Arizona Wildcat uniform inside of McHale Center at Alchemy Arena.
I think the one that comes to mind is when we played Iowa State last year. Caleb winning that shot. That's probably the loudest I've heard McHale, since I've been here. Another whiteout game, so I think that was just a surreal environment to be a part of.
Yeah, I'd probably say coincidentally both Iowa State games, last year and this year. It's pretty hard to top a win and get the championship outright.
Nah, yeah, for sure. Same thing. That shot that Caleb hit, that's classroom stuff, March basketball stuff. Like you see, you don't get to witness that in person. So, it was crazy.
My greatest assist.
Anthony Delorso saying his greatest assist to get the ball to Caleb Love.
Yeah, he had a lot to do with that shot, Kelvin. Well, he did. I'm joking, but he did lead. Okay, so Caleb did catch that ball moving towards half court. That was primary. That was primary importance for him to be able to get the space off to get that shot off.
These whiteout games have produced some exciting ones. Obviously this past week there was a lot of video of the famed block by Derek Williams against Washington.
I still got my shirt from that one.
Yeah, that was an exciting. It was loud that day. I remember I was there that day.
Well, UW at the time, had been coming and Roy was. I don't think Roy was on that. That was after Roy, but that they had been a bit of a thorn in Arizona's side. Kelvin, a lot of teams in the pack other than UCLA and Stanford took turns. Oregon at times, Washington at times. There had been different teams to take the mantle of Arizona rival, but at that point, that was a huge game. They needed that. I think Washington might have even won the conference the year before, so they had been playing really well.
I mentioned obviously that there's still plenty to go with this year. But the Big 12 regular season championship that was clinched on Monday, Arizona has won 5 conference championships, regular season or tournament in the 5 seasons that Tommy Lloyd has been the head coach. They have 3 regular season titles, 22, 24, and 25. 22, 24, and 25, and 26, and then 2 tournament titles in 22 and 23 since Tommy Lloyd took over. Anthony Delorso on what he thinks Tucson will most remember about this team, at least to this point.
I feel like people have a good sense of how much we like each other and how much we enjoy being around each other, off the court, on the court. That's something that's special that you see later on when you get through March and people say it after they're winning. But I think this team has a genuine care for each other, and you can see it on the court. No one cares about stats. No one cares about minutes. It's just pure joy for winning, and that's something we've been able to keep going strong all year.
There you go. And in terms of the kids that are going to come in next year, incoming freshmen to this program. There have been 4 that have been fabulous this year, but the young men who have already signed up to come and play at this school, here's some advice that Jaden Bradley would give to them.
I would just say serve the game. Do everything the right way, and it's going to the game's going to treat you well. Come work every day. Find your older guy, push him. He knows a lot of the tools and stuff. So just be a sponge, learn, and just give it your all.
There you go.
Who's that guy for you, Calvin?
Huh?
Who was that guy for you? Like when you first got on campus, it was like, let me show you what's up.
You know what? It's crazy, but I would give probably Joseph Blair. Because when you first show up to campus, it's not even really about basketball. It's about trying to get acclimated to school.
There's where the kitchen is. There's where you get your books.
Yeah, so Joseph was the one to give you a ride, and he's from Texas as well. He's from Houston, so him and Jarvis Kelly, I think they felt like they had to help me out a little bit there. So yeah, I would give Joseph Blair that.
I shot with those two at the rec quite a bit. That JB called me one time. I made some shots, and JB called me Bird, but it was always Jarvis. Jarvis, no, I'm telling you, like those two were always Joe Blair and Jarvis Kelly were always together when I was there.
J-Dub, did you win the state championship with
I was there the year after. So Greenfield's won 2 years in a row, and then Coach Peabody was there the year before I was there and the year I got there, and then he left after my junior year to go to St. Greg's.
Okay, he got a good team coming to Greenfields because he said the coach won right the year before him. Did he won?
He inherited a team that had won the year before.
Right.
Speaking of Brian Peabody on your Goldberg and Osborne scoreboard, 57-30. Aztecs on top of Scottsdale. Second half, they've just about 10 minutes gone in the second half of that game. So low scoring, but Aztecs still taking care of business on their way likely to a region championship for sure. How about this stat that came out this week on your Arizona Wildcats? I'll get back to it here. The Wildcats are the only major conference school in the country with 5 players that have 63 or more assists this season. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, I was just looking at the assist totals, and U of A generally is in the top 5, top 10. I think right now they're right around that area, just outside. But as far as the number of guys, you generally think in Kelvin about one guy getting 7, one guy getting 4, and a few guys getting 1 or 2. But this Arizona team across the board, I mean, they got a whole bunch of guys who are willing facilitators. And that's one of the keys to the offensive success. You talk about not giving up any 10-0 runs to other teams other than Norfolk State, DK. A lot of that has to do, other teams are going to get hot. Other teams are going to knock down shots. But it has to do with getting stops. So, yeah, getting stops and then having facilitators across the board, all 5 guys being willing passers. I mean, we've seen Mo Krivas. We've seen Tobe Awaka have some good assists this year. So, yeah, a lot of guys who are looking for their fellow teammates to get a good bucket.
Jaden Bradley leads the way with 136, 81 for Braden Burries. He's second. Then you've got Koa Pete with 72 third. Ivan Karchinkov, 68 fourth. And then Anthony Del Orso wraps that up. He's got 63 assists on the season. Good numbers there for Arizona. All right, Colorado tonight in Boulder, season finale. Let's find out what we believe the Wildcats need to do to win this game.
Wildcats fans, what are the big keys for today's game? Our keys to the game are brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different.
All right, my first key is going to be you got to lock up Isaiah Johnson, the freshman. He's averaging 17 points per ball game, and if he gets going and gets started tonight, it could be a long night on senior night. He's a freshman, but don't let the freshman get the senior night crowd wild up. You've got to really, I think, force him into the bigs and make him have to shoot over guys like Motias Krivas and Tobe Awaka inside. We mentioned it earlier. They're going to be without Sebastian Ranchik tonight, so I think the Wildcats have got to dominate on the glass, and they will in this ball game. I'd say plus 10 over Colorado on the boards. It will be the play tonight. And I think, like any other night, don't have a title hangover because you've won the title with 1 game left to go. We'll find out kind of how this team reacts to that. How Tommy reacts to whether he'll play a whole lot of guys, a whole lot of minutes, and if the Wildcats can survive on that, they'll finish 16-2. If not, 15-3. They're still going to be wearing the crowns at the end of the night, no matter what. Kelvin,
I think you have to lock in and play hard and determined basketball. Can't coast. that's how you get injured. You have to match that intensity just like it's any other game. Be prepared for Colorado to play some type of zone. Thad has been known to throw something in like that, and I could see something like that, him putting something in like that to try to force Arizona into a jump shooting team and win the rebounding game. I think that, they're a little small, and you don't want to give extra possessions. So really lock in on the small details.
For me, number one, you got to come up to a fast start. We know it's senior night. We know that the Colorado Buffaloes are going to, try to, dampen Arizona's final game of the regular season. So you got to come out. I'd love to see a 5 to 10 point lead at the under 12 timeout. That's what will mean to me that Arizona's come out with purpose. Number two, we know about the Colorado injuries. We know that Bangkok Dak is not the biggest guy. So just dominate the glass. Do what Arizona does. I would love to see a plus 15 rebounding margin in this game. And that would tell me that Arizona is prepping and ramping up for the Big 12 tournament and into the NCAA tournament. And you got to keep the guards for CU out of the paint. So you mentioned the freshmen, but there's a couple of guys who can get a little bit busy. So to me that looks like paint points. And if Arizona can keep Colorado under maybe 30 points in the paint, I think Bangkok Dak can get some putbacks, maybe he's a bit of a lob threat. But it's really going to be those guards getting in the paint for some floaters and getting right to the rim. So less than 30 points to me for the Colorado Buffaloes in the paint, I think gets it done tonight in Boulder.
All right, that's what we believe the Wildcats must do to lock up a 16th win in the Big 12 Conference.
Those are our keys for today's game. The keys to the game. Brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different.
All right, before we get out of here, I do want to update a couple of things on the Goldberg and Osborne scoreboard. I mentioned earlier the Arizona softball team, 14th ranked Wildcats, won today 16-3. That is their 8th straight run rule victory this season. 8 straight, because they won all their games last week at the Hillenbrand Invitational by run rule, and they won all 3 games to open up Big 12 this week by run rule. That is a program record with 8 straight run rule victories for Caitlin Lowe's ladies. And updating the score over at High Corbett Field, top of the 8th, it is now 6-0 in favor of the Wildcats over Fresno State. How about this line tonight for Smith Bailey? 7 innings, no runs, 4 hits, 9 strikeouts for Smith Bailey on the starting on the bump tonight for the Wildcats. There you go. Good things happening right now for your Arizona Wildcats. Let's give you your starting lineup.
The foundation of a great basketball team begins with the starting lineup. Today's starting lineup is brought to you by Rocking K, a master plan community designed by nature.
And at one guard, it'll be Jaden Bradley. He is the senior out of Rochester, New York, averaging 14 points and 5 assists per contest. Braden Burries out of San Bernardino, freshman guard, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists on the season. The man in the middle at 7'2", Motiejas Krivas out of Chile, Lithuania, 11 points and 8 rebounds on the season. Koa Pete from Chandler, Arizona, freshman, 13 points and 5 rebounds. Ivan Karchinkov at 6'7", forward out of Munich, Germany, averaging 10 points and 4 rebounds. Your head coach is Tommy Lloyd. Arizona and Colorado. Do we have time for final thoughts? Quick final thoughts? Yeah, quick final thoughts. Kelvin.
Yeah, man, this is one of those games right here, man, where they just really got to lock in. I think that Colorado is going to be desperate for a win, and the guys just have to come out and really put it to them early if they don't want to go down to the wire with these guys.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a good effort, just that U of A basketball brand coming out, playing solid defense, playing a connected together offense, looking for your teammates, and just keeping it rolling. Don't change anything now. The 31st game of the year, keep doing what we do.
I should have put out a question of the day. Will Jaden Bradley play more than 25 minutes tonight?
Yes.
I say no.
I say yes.
He says yes. We'll find out.
Depend on the score.
We'll find out after the game. Coming up, Brian Jeffries, Ryan Hansen have the call. Number 2, Arizona and Colorado. You'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290 and over on K-Hit 107.5. Bear down, Arizona.
Morning begins in the Rincon foothills. Rocking K, a master-planned community and place to call home, offering distinct neighborhoods designed to fit your lifestyle. Explore the outdoors, walk the trails, visit Saguaro National Park. Enjoy community parks and make new friends at Rocking K resident events. Walk to Vail School District's newest campus in Rocking K, Saguaro Creek. 17 model homes, 6 quality builders. Move-in ready homes available from the 300s. Rocking K, designed by nature. A community by design.
Now that's what I call savings. Looking for strength and value? Get $2,000 off a new 2025 Chevy Trailblazer, $3,000 off a 2025 Chevy Traverse, and up to $4,500 off a 2025 Chevy Colorado. That's real muscle, real savings. Right now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Call us at 747-8000, see us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall, or on the web at O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Coach, Tommy Lloyd here with the Right Way team.
Great news. Free furnace season has been extended through the end of March. Have you been thinking about replacing your heating and cooling system this year? To spark business, we're giving away an 80% gas furnace or a heat pump air handler with the purchase of a new air conditioning system.
And we're offering up to 60 months no interest financing, manufacturer and energy efficiency rebates, and 10-year parts and labor warranty.
Call or text 520-200-2422 to book your free estimate today or visit rightwayac.com.
If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Donna Ogden Nation.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
When it comes to the comfort and indoor air quality of your home and office, Advantage Air Mechanical has you covered. Breathing healthy air and having reliable air conditioning is important. If you or someone you know is in need of air conditioning services or a new system installation, we are here to help. Advantage Air Mechanical, 792-9400. AZROC 214570.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
When it comes to basketball, nothing beats Wildcat basketball. Stolen by Korchikov on a breakaway. There goes Ivan to the bucket. Slam it home. This is University of Arizona Wildcat basketball. And this is the Hughes Federal Credit Union Countdown to Tip-Off show. Burries with a steal, 3-on-1 ahead to Bradley. Now he'll